And hello, everyone, and welcome out to J.L. Butch Stoker Stadium here in Alexandria, Louisiana. We are getting ready for Game 1 of the 2022 season. And so excited to have you back with us this time, all video, and couldn't be more excited. Had a little test run last Friday night with the Jamboree. That was a big victory, and it seems like we can't get away from the rain and the mud. I am Doug Gann alongside, in my 86th year, my buddy who's been calling that long, Ernie Lott. That's right. Coach, welcome back to another good season of Ash Trojan football.
Well, I'm glad to be back, and one more year to be upright and above ground, so that's a good thing.
Absolutely it is. You know, we talked about last year we didn't have as much rain as we've had this year. We had the bad game, the first one that got rained out or moved around. But nothing like what we've seen the last 2 or 3 weeks. Rain really came through and messed up that field at Pineville High School last year. Of course, there were 3 games that were played on it. It was the freshman game, the JV game, and then the varsity game. And here we go again. I was out walking the field a little earlier with Coach Bachman, and he was talking about how good of shape the field was in as long as they didn't get a little more rain. And lo and behold, we're about 30 minutes from kickoff, and we're getting that rain in.
Yeah, and you can see, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but the tracks where they run up and down just warming up has already made some spots on the field. And it'll deteriorate as the game goes on, so I think that's going to be a factor in the game.
It will,
unless it slacks up and holds off some more.
We'll get to your keys to the game just a little bit later. Again, a lot of ways that you can watch us. Folks are watching us over on our Boxcast feed over at YouTube. All of the subscribers, they're popping up. And so if you are watching on Facebook or on YouTube, we invite you to go up there and like that and hit the subscribe button, getting close to 200 subscribers on there. And so that allows us to do a couple of more things when we get that. But we appreciate you watching this, whether you're watching it right now or you've went back and watched it. And as we've told you before, about half of the viewers that we have go back and watch it after. So, Coach, you got to not only be on your best behavior now, but in perpetuity as well.
Yeah, well, and, you know, if I'd have known that, I'd have got to shave my beard a little bit and cleaned up a little better. But I just have to go with what they got tonight.
There you go. The man said all those years he said, I love being on the radio, and now we got the camera on us. Weather starting to make its way in. I think you looked at the radar a little bit earlier and saw, what did you see on there?
It's a light rain right here, but looked like over around Leesville they got a pretty good storm going on. Hopefully it'll fizzle out before it gets here. I talked to one of the officials, and they said right now they're not even sure they're going to be able to get the game in Leesville because of the lightning and everything's, you know, it's really storming over there.
Well, this is certainly one of those that we want to get in. Is a very much anticipated matchup. Carencro, the Golden Bears of Carencro from just south of here, make the move up to 5A this year. 2 years removed from that state championship that they had. And so just a solid ball club. You know, Coach Corville here in his 7th year, we said that we had Coach Tony Corville picked up the state championship back in 2020. They did get a 5A state championship, Coach, back in 1992. So just a solid program. You remember that state championship year back in 2020, we all were looking around going through the scores that night, and week 1, they shut out West Monroe 16-0. So it's just a solid ball club, these Golden Bears of Carencro, that make the trip up.
Oh, they've always had a good football team down in that area. I was telling one of the announcers for their radio station that back when we were at Tioga and Coach Lemoyne was coaching, we went down there and played a first-round game against them, and it was raining so hard from a hurricane. All the other games had gotten canceled except that one. Water was all the way out past the numbers on the field, and every time somebody would get tackled, they would go completely out of sight. And we were scared somebody was going to drown. And then the only reason they didn't beat the stew out of us that night was because they had so much speed and the field was really soggy and wet.
Right.
So I think they wound up beating us 7-0 or something like that. But yeah, they traditionally have excellent program. They've had a number of college players sign out of Carencro, and it's going to be a good test for the Trojans tonight.
Indeed it is. We'll talk a little bit about what we saw from the Trojans last week. Got our first break of the night coming up. One thing that we want to point out, down at the bottom you see the scroll. That'll be updated with all the scores in Rapides Parish. You'll see those go around. Of course, a couple of games that were played last night. Menard, which is on our family of teams here on 446 Sports, they hung in there 7-7 against St. Fred's before eventually losing 21-7. And then Tioga, also another local team not covered by our networks, but they blank Bolton 40-0 in that one out at the reservation. You'll be able to follow along to the games that are there. Buckeye and Block, our other station that is on our 446 family. Scott Mills will be on the call with that one. Going to take our first break of the pregame show. We're in the countdown to coin toss here. My man, Coach Lott, I am Doug Gann. We'll be back with a little tip on the Trojans right after this.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
The fine folks at BK Distributors want to thank all the educators for weathering the storms, so to speak, through 2020 and beyond. Thank you for your dedication to our children. The end of the school year awards are now available. Any type of award, trophies, banners, plaques, they do it all at BK Distributors. So with school almost out, that means summer leagues are in full swing. New items, same great prices, and fast turnaround. BK Distributors, Highway 28 East Pineville behind Arby's.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
And we are back to J.L. Butch Stoker Stadium. I am Doug Gann alongside of Coach Ernie Lott. And, Coach, another game that's going to be affected by the conditions, but that's okay. We'll take a look at our Sadler Towing starting lineup on the evening for us, and it's the same as it was last week. Offensively for the Trojans, at quarterback will be the left-handed Joe Bordelon. He is a senior and just had a really good game. One of the things that we noticed about him was that he wasn't letting the ball fly on him as much. He seemed to throw the ball really well and tight. Datlin Cunningham had 3 touchdowns on the week last week. James Harrington will get the start at tight end. The 2 wideouts that you'll look for, number 1, Jalen Johnson, number 11, Amirion Mingo, and across that front line, Trace Calcode, Ronan Gonzalez, Caleb Pearl, Brett Bain, and Hunter Rivette across the front line. Defensively for the Trojans, and they are going to have their hands full tonight, but I think they handled things well last week. The inside linebacker play that we were worried about really played solid in that one. But that front line is led by Bryce Rushing. Got to talk to him on the show last night. Just a pleasant young man until he gets between the lines, and that's when he and his counterparts go crazy out there. Number 55, the senior Wyatt Dozart, anchors that line at nose tackle. Christian Ray really good minutes out there last week. Played solid in the first time really that we had seen him play. The linebacking core is number 15 Ethan White, number 9 John Parrish, number 10 Aiden Walker. He is the junior inside linebacker, and number 16 Caleb Andrus. And didn't notice Andrus as much during the game because it was a new number to call. But as I've watched the game a couple of times back on the tape, Coach, 16 did a great job, Caleb Andrus.
Oh, okay.
Safeties, Tay Frazier and Rylan Hall, and then probably two of the best cover guys. I got to think not just in the area, but in the state, Josh Marie and Chris Clark. The only thing that we saw, emotions got to Josh Marie, number 7 last week, and got the penalty late in a game that was out of reach and didn't really need that one. And so talked to Coach Bachman a little bit, and he said, you know what, we're working on that, and it's just some things that you get out of the way. But that is our Sadler's Towing starting lineup. So grateful to have the folks at Sadler's Towing back on board with us for another year. They, of course, are the title sponsor along with walk-ons to our Thomas Bachman show that is each and every Thursday night. Unless there's a Thursday game, then it's Tuesday night, but go figure. Anyway, Coach, that's our starters tonight. Tell me your thoughts on them last week as you saw that game at Pineville unfold.
Well, you know, I was like you. I had some questions about, you know, I had a lot of replacements in certain areas, especially on the offensive line. The linebackers, with some questions on them. They played well. Now, take that with a grain of salt. Not disrespecting Pineville, but I really think that Pineville's really down this year. They lost a good bit from last year, and they replaced them with a lot of young kids, and you could see it on the field. I mean, total domination by the Trojans. It's going to be a different deal tonight. I mean, these guys, they got a young squad, but they got some quality players. So, you know, I'm curious to see how we shape up against a quality team tonight.
Offensively, we saw that offensive line. That was one of the questions for the Trojans. How would they do? They seemed to block well for Joe, gave him some good time there. Only got sacked one time, but opened up a lot of running lanes for the senior number 3, Datlin Cunningham, who had 3 scores on the night.
Right. Like I say, that was one of the question marks because they had to replace a lot, and they did a good job. Don't know how they'll do tonight, and the field conditions are going to play a part in it. You know, I don't want to get the keys of the game, but, you know, I'm big on special teams, and I think that's going to be a big key. I'm not sure about their special team play, but, you know, we had to replace a dynamite kicker.
That's right.
And that's going to be an area of concern tonight.
One thing that we did notice about it, may have not been kicking it as deep. The ball would go to about the 15-yard line as you scoped out pretty well, but it was a little bit higher, and it allowed their kick coverage team an opportunity to get down there and cover on special teams. So we'll see really how that goes, how that unfolds. We're going to take a look at the schedule, your keys to the game. We'll do all of that when we come back. We're going to take our second break as the countdown to coin toss rolls on. We'll be back with the schedule. Coach Ernie's keys to the game. We'll do all of that right before the coin toss and the kickoff when we come back.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by 2 walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
We are back live, J.L. Butch Stoker Stadium. Doug Gann alongside of Coach Ernie Lott in a, I don't know if it's because the press box is so small or there's just a lot of people in here tonight, but very, let's say, comfy press box in here. Sun's not in, so it's not as hot as it usually is. Usually it's about 95 degrees in here with that sun bearing straight in on us. But you should have nothing to get in the way now of your keys to the game. So your Valex Federal Credit Union keys to the game, Coach.
That's easier for you to say than me, so I'm going to go with it. Like I said, the first and most important part of the game to me is the special team, especially early in the year, because you know a lot of teams don't have a lot of time to work on it. Ash had to replace kickoff man, so you know that's going to be really big thing for as far as I'm concerned. We discussed the fact that he kicked it to about the 15 or 20 yard line. We had good coverage. Punting is going to be a question mark. You know, and kickoffs coverage team, and these guys got a lot of speed, so that's going to be a big one. Second thing, offensive line. Last week they did an excellent job of protecting the quarterback. This week we're going to see. If they can block, give Joe plenty of time, I think that'll be the difference in the game as well as the running game. You know, offensive and defensive line never get the credit that they deserve, and I think on the same token, you know, when things don't go good, that's the first thing they look at. Oh, the offensive line not blocking, or the defensive line didn't block, or whatever. And the third thing, the defense has a solid defensive front. We talked about the linebackers, the secondary. Most of those guys are back. Got a couple of replacements at linebacker. They only broke one long run against them the other night, and that was when they, you know, caught them out of position and was able to pick up pretty good yardage. But for the most part, the two inside linebackers did an excellent job. So if they continue to play like they did last week, that'll be a key to the game as well.
Well, there you have it. That is the Coach Ernie Lott's Valex Federal Credit Union keys to the game. We'll make a couple of in-game adjustments real quick, Coach. You got to get that up there where everybody can hear you. There you go. So we've got that. Now, Chuck, if you take an opportunity, Chuck, our producer, of course, getting everything going for us. We'll go over there and look at the Trojan schedule. Of course, tonight they take care of, they welcome in Carencro and then make the trip in the second game of a 3-game series down in Lafayette with St. Thomas More. You remember St. Thomas More made the trip up to Alexandria last year. Then we go up I-49 to Turpin Stadium at Northwestern, where we will take on the Natchitoches Central Chiefs. Then back at home the following week, East Ascension. I don't see a soft game in there anywhere. You turn around, get Green Oaks for homecoming, common opponent that we've had the last few years, and then you get into just a brutal district schedule. You see October 7th, the Bearcats of Ruston, then up to Ouachita Parish, and always a tough place to go in and play is Ouachita. The Rebels of Pineville start back-to-back Rebel weekends. October 21st, they come across the river to Butch Stoker Stadium to play there. West Monroe, we will go up and see them. And the only good thing about that trip is the burger place that's right behind the visiting sidelines up there. It's been tough sledding up at West Monroe, and then finishing things off, thankfully, at home as we entertain West Ouachita, because if you're not going to West Ouachita, it's difficult to get there. Just a tough drive in that one. And much different schedule, a lot of new players, new faces, new teams on the schedule this year. So excited about seeing all of that. Just a few minutes away from kicking this thing off and getting it underway. Again, Buckeye and Block are another team that are playing on our station. So if you hop up on YouTube, you can flip between the games. You can watch it on our Boxcaster link that is on Facebook. And, of course, as always, it'll pop right up there on Facebook. But we invite you to click the link and go to one of the other places to watch it because Facebook does compress it down just a little bit. If you're in the stands watching it on your phone, a big hello to you. A lot of folks like to do that. We notice that because when we mispronounce somebody's name, they turn around and give us that glare. So it's difficult. No, I kid with that. A big welcome out to Giles Hyundai, one of our new sponsors. Great to see those guys. And it's I have to say it over and over because for so many years it was M&M on there and difficult to say. But the folks, Ryan LeBlanc and that group, Bob Giles, and just great people. Of course, Sadler's Towing. You see over there, and you see how I did that? It's right there. Is where the sponsors will rotate around. Excited to have. You'll see those scores update in semi-real time down at the bottom as we get there. But those were Rapides Parish-ish teams that are in action. Ugly night for football, but I don't think it's as bad, Coach, as you said it was. A little south and west of here.
Right. When I left the house, man, it was a toad strangler going on. And when
I'm sorry, what?
A toad strangler. That's a Mississippiism there.
I'm going to have to take your word for it. Anybody that's followed along with us know to expect a certain amount of Coach Lott-isms before the night's over
That's
with.
right.
So anyway, I digress.
Flock-a-knoppers.
Yes, indeed, it's going to be that. But a lot of rain they're catching down that way.
Yeah, in Leesville, like I say, maybe it'll hopefully slack up before it gets to this direction because it is moving from west to east. Maybe it'll go above us if we're lucky.
One thing that we're going to try to work in at the end of this game, it's going to depend on whether or not the weather cooperates with us. We're going to try to do our post-game show from down on the field. We may end up in the locker room there back in Coach Bachman's office, but one way or another, we're going to find an opportunity to talk to some of the coaches and players following this game. Now, we'll stop this broadcast and start things over again, and just you have to follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. You just have to be signed up with it. But it'll let you know and alert you when we go live on that. So make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell notification so you know that anytime that we come live. Coach, let's take our final break of the night. We'll come back and we'll get some more thoughts on tonight's contest, re-hit the key players of the game. We'll do all of that as the countdown to coin toss rolls on. You're watching Ash Trojan football right here on 446 Sports.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
The fine folks at BK Distributors want to thank all the educators for weathering the storms, so to speak, through 2020 and beyond. Thank you for your dedication to our children. The end of the school year awards are now available. Any type of award, trophies, banners, plaques, they do it all at BK Distributors. So with school almost out, that means summer leagues are in full swing. New items, same great prices, and fast turnaround. BK Distributors, Highway 20 in East Pineville behind Arby's.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone, day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Buying car insurance for the first time.
Let's get that. Getting ready for the captains to make their way out there. Bryce Rushing is there. Wyatt Dozard is there. John Parrish. And we'll look and pick up the other one just momentarily as he's turned a bit to the side. Working on it, unable to get out onto the field, not a great angle with it, so we'll see it there, and we may have to just manually turn the camera a little bit until that rain stops and we're able to get outside, but we'll keep our best look on this. Coach, it's uncertain weather. We've seen that, but no matter what, here we go. Carencro will receive the football, and we are shaking hands and getting ready to get this thing underway. Going to try to zoom and move that camera just a little bit. You'll have to bear with us until the rain gets out of the way and we're able to get outside just a little bit and do a couple of things with it. May see how we're trying to make some adjustments on the fly as we go around here, so bear Bear with us. Nope, that's not it, certainly. So see what that looks like there, Chuck, as we're zoomed in just a little bit on the officials. Again, back-to-back weeks of trouble here. Now, you take a look at that officiating crew. 7 official crew tonight, and that's what you like to see because you know that every position is going to be covered up on that.
I may swap places.
We'll move him around, and I think we're just about ready to go. In this one, we talked to you about the officials that are out there. 6 of the 7-man crew have experience in the Superdome, so it's certainly a good crew. Trojans getting ready to tee things up. Standing around the 10-yard line are the Golden Bears of Carencro, and we're ready to get this thing going. Jamboree week behind us. Week 1 is just a couple of steps away from getting underway. Foot to ball, and we are ready for action. Bouncing around to the 15, rolls back down to the 10, going to fall and cover it up at the 9-yard line. So the wet condition and the kicking, not getting it in the end zone, Coach, already playing a little bit of headache on the Golden Bears.
Well, and that was advantageous to him. He fumbled the ball around a little bit. It wet and everything, and they're going to start in poor field position. They got 90 yards to go.
And Coach Bachman told you over and over, it's tough to put big, long drives together. Now, again, we tell you, we are going to do our best to keep the scoreboard updated. Chuck doing not only double duty, but about quadruple duty. They like to run at Vera Lodge and Carencro. They will get back in the shotgun some as well. Difficult identifying the crew that's out, so bear with us. That rain has gotten its way on here. Going to be an inside handoff, and it's big pressure in the back, but gets around.
And the receiver coming from left to right's got it. He's past the 20.
Goodness gracious, just moments away. Andrus was close to making the tackle, Coach, but great work by number 6 of the Bears. That's Chance Babineau. We heard them talk about him in the Carencro pregame just a little bit.
You know they were going to come out with a little trickeration early, I think, to try to slow the Trojans down. Running the veer, that's something you have to work on. Everybody has to stay in position and read their keys.
All the way out to the 26-yard line, so big first play there. And there goes that inside handoff. Good diving tackle. We'll have to see who that was. Looks like Chris Clark, if you will. Yeah, Clark coming up out of the safety spot to make that tackle.
We got one of the Trojans limping already. One of the big linemen there can't quite make out his number. 50, is it 56?
55, Dozart is the one in the middle. This is what Carencro likes to do. Run the football, take a lot of time off of the play clock, and then snap it with just one. They've got everything set. Down and ready to go. First man through gets it, and it runs right through, and he's off into the races. Out to the 40, now 30, 25, 20. And big time play, and as a Trojan that is down back at the 35-yard line, Coach, and it's just been good blocking for Carencro at the point of attack.
Yeah, they do some cut blocking out there, and I think it went to his ankles, and number 8 for the Trojans, or 6, I can't make the number out, but he's coming off the field there.
If that's 6, that's Clark, but we'll look at it. He made the tackle just a little bit earlier, and it does look to be Chris Clark. First down and 10 for the Bears from the 20-yard line of the Trojan. This is a drive that started out inside the 10-yard line on that bobbled kickoff, but since then it's been 3 big runs for this Carencro ball club, and they're into the Valex Federal Credit Union red zone.
Going with a spread set this time.
And the option, that's going to be a quarterback keeper, getting to the far side and just establishing some line of scrimmage, Coach. That offensive line of Carencro is really pushing back that defensive set of the Trojans.
Yeah, this is shades of Acadiana last in the championship game. These guys are coming off the ball. Veer is a tough, like I say, you got to do your assignments, you got to read your keys, and so far they're executing very well.
Again, if you're looking at the screen and seeing it murky out there, it is that rain that's not running heavily, but just enough to cause chaos. There's a handoff up the middle, going to be met at the line of scrimmage. Only needed a yard, and it looks like they're going to get it. They'll mark it down at the 9-yard line. It's going to be first and goal to go for Carencro. 10:06 just underway in this first quarter of play.
Clark checks back in the game now. Must have just tweaked his ankle a little bit.
Good to see Chris Clark, and this is that time that defense is going to have to bow up a little under new defensive coordinator Josh Mercer, elevated from assistant district or defensive coordinator. Goal to go now as they get down. That veer ball hits the ground. Going to pick it up, spin around, get inside the 5 to the 3. Second down and goal.
Right now, Doug, the Carencro offensive line is getting the best of the defensive front and the linebackers. They're coming off the ball, and they're picking up 4 and 5 yards a pop.
It's not. I don't think there's been one play, Coach, that's been stopped in this one. Inside the 5-yard line to the 4. Second down and goal. 9:20 to go. First quarter of play. Ball looks like it bounces up again. Quarterback's going to keep it. He's going to make his way down to the end zone, and that's a touchdown for Carencro. In that one, that Chance Caesar gets in there on the keeper. Chance Caesar keeps it himself, and we saw Caesar run the ball quite well. So, Coach, just a quick, efficient drive for this Carencro Bear team, and they're out in that swinging gate that we saw a lot of the Trojans run last week.
Yeah, I think maybe they probably were getting ready for this since they ran it last week, so the defense would be accustomed to it.
See on your screen now the swinging gate and the rain that is falling. They go for it, pitch it to the side, and not going to get there, so the PAT is no good. The Bears do get the lead. They take the opening drive and go 91 yards and cap it off all runs, that touchdown. First score of the game is in the book, 6-0 Golden Bears. We'll be right back on 446 Sports.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by 2 walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Back live to JL Butch Stoker Stadium, a 91-yard 5-play drive. And goodness, Coach, a very efficient start for the Bears of Carencro.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well for the Trojans unless they can make some adjustments there. Of course, first drive, I'm sure they looked at some film, saw some things on film that maybe they could exploit, and hopefully now we'll make some changes on the defense.
Chris Clark, Jalen Johnson back deep to receive. They stand at the 8-yard line is where they're at. And this kick will split the 2 of them, settle into Clark. He gets it at the 16-yard line, now 20. 25 goes Clark, trying to cut to the other side. Gets to the 33. We'll see if they mark him at the 30. All the way out to the 35 is where they mark him. And now we'll see what these Trojans are able to do with it. Again, that rain playing havoc with the shot that we have on there. We apologize for that. We'll try to get that fixed as best we can, but it's only going to be helped as we can get outside with our cameras. They are all inside. 2 receivers to the top, 1 to the near side. Bordelon's got Cunningham in the backfield with him. Handoff does go to Datlin. Datlin trying to get to the outside, but good pressure by that Golden Bear defense, and that's actually going to be a loss of a yard.
Yeah, he tried to outrun him to the sideline, and they got good speed at the linebacker position. And
Trojans come back up to the line of scrimmage. Second down now and 11 following that loss of a yard. A little bit of motion. Joe coming out throwing the ball, overshoots Mingo.
Got him wide open there.
Intended for Mingo, and he was unable to pull that one in. And we're going to try to stay on that camera as best we can and manually move it a little bit as what we got until things settle in here. But third down, and what you don't need to do is turn the ball right back over to Carencro. Coach trailing 6-0 and have not shown any signs of stopping them on that first drive.
That was one of the cases where Joe, in the game last week didn't sail the ball. That time it went high and
Joe back to
right.
pass, getting pressured. I don't think he's going to be able to step through that, and he does not. That's another loss. 5-yard sack will bring up 4th down and 16, and it just collapsed around that offensive line, and you were unable just to get out of it.
Yeah, that's my concern right there, was that we talked about early in the game, what kind of pressure they were going to put on Joe. But that was just basically a 5-man rush. They didn't bring any linebackers that I could tell.
Punt team making their way out onto the field. 4th down and 16 from the 29-yard line. 7:55 and counting. Snap is back, kick is away, and that is Bordelon that puts a foot into that. It rolls around, going to get a good Trojan bounce inside the 30 to the 29, and kind of just the worst possible start in this one as the Golden Bears go down and execute flawlessly, and the Trojans are -6 on their first possession.
Yeah, they're going to get the offensive under the tent now. The defense had a few seconds to go over some things, see if they've made any adjustments here. So far, it looks like their offensive line is doing a number on our front four.
And that was the strength of this squad last week. Carencro back under center. Caesar running the veer. Good pressure that time. And that's just good pressure. Have to get an eye on who that one was. I think it was Andrus, and indeed it was. And that's one, Coach, that we talked about that we saw on tape last week, that when we watched it over and over again, and that's a loss of 2, the first time that there has been a loss for Carencro in this one. So a great job. Coach, he was the one that almost had to stop in the backfield on that first play, but we know what almost will do for you. 2nd down and 11. Back to there's going to be the timeout is called by the Bears. We'll take it with them, and we'll be right back. Right after this, you're watching Ash Trojan Football on 446 Sports.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you
Back to live action we go. Doug Gann alongside of Ernie Lott, bringing you, although Ernie is getting out on squeegee duty right now, it looks like, trying to clear the window off for us, and pressured in the backfield of Caesar. Now he's got a wide open receiver, complete at the 45 and off and running to the 40 of the Trojans, and off 30, 20-10, and brought down at the 4-yard line. Josh Marie coming back, and that was just good pressure. And Coach, it was just pitch and catch basically as he drops it over Marie, who was up a little bit on that, and hurriedly Carencro gets down to the line of scrimmage.
Looked like he might have done a little double move on him, and he bit on the first move and had him wide open.
To the 4-yard line, 1st and goal, 6:45, and the Bears are back knocking on the door and banging away on the door. Back under center is Caesar. He's going to get in there for his 2nd touchdown of the game. And, wow, just not at all the start that you wanted in this one, Coach. And the only thing you say is at least it's early. They'll be able to settle down, but they've shown no signs of stopping the Golden Bears on anything, throwing or running.
Yeah, well, I was concerned about that. First game of the season. Right now, they're getting the best of the Trojans.
Coming back to swing that gate, they'll bring it in now. and set up looking to kick that, as they missed the PAT prior to this, down to 16 on the play clock. But this has been all Carencro in this one. Again, just a couple of years removed from that state championship. Snap is back. It's on the ground, but a good hold. They get it up there, and it is good. 13-0. Going to leave it right here and hang on to it just a minute. And my goodness, 13-0. Carencro has come out in this one, Coach. And, man, I'm just punching the Trojans right in the mouth.
Yeah, well, down that, got to give them credit. They do what they do best, and that got to give credit to their offensive line. It's doing a number on them, and of course secondary got burnt there a couple of times. So far they've looked better than the Trojans, and hopefully we can get it turned around here in the next little bit.
And that was a case of that was started on the drive before. They came in and just ran and pounded the ball, and that had the Trojans coming up and playing that run, and just was able to get by Josh Marie, was the freshman Babineau from Carencro, and able to get it down inside the 4. Caesar takes it in for his second touchdown of the game. And Coach Donahoe now calling the offense for the Trojans. Going to have to get things back on track. Remember, Carencro got the ball to start things off. Kick is up, rolls around. Clark's got it at the 18-yard line. Looking at a seam, but it closed quickly. The Trojans will start right back where they were in the first drive, to the 33-yard line, a couple of yards shy of it. And goodness, the Trojans have got to come out and answer. They can ill afford a 3-and-out on this series. Joe brings that offense back out there. Datlin Cunningham will be the lone back. You've got 2 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near. That's a very comfortable formation for the Trojans. Slot man uncovered now comes in motion to the near side. And a penalty flag is going to be thrown for, looks like, motion is going to be called against the Trojans. And, Coach, that's not what you wanted to come out with on that first play.
Yeah, get behind the chains early, and I'd say that execution has not been really very good for the Trojans first two series, and then they come out and do it again. That's not good.
It looks like they've got the same play in motion, and that one is quickly to the near side. Mingo, good blocking, is going to get out to the 35-yard line, gets the penalty yardage back plus a yard, so it's going to be 2nd down and 9 at the 35. 13-0, 6:21, 21 seconds away from the timeout.
I wonder if they're going to have a hydration timeout. I guess
they have to in the month of. They have to do it in the month of September and possibly October. 2nd down and 9 for the Trojans. Joe looking things over, brings a man in motion. That's Mingo, and that will.
Somebody had moved again.
Going to be motion again against the Trojans, and you know that they cannot be happy about that one. Goodness gracious. 1 step forward and 2 steps back. 2nd down and 14. The ball all the way back to the 30-yard line. Again, going through a window and rain to get down to the field. Bordelon scrambles out to his right, got a wide open receiver, goes to the shorter man, Mingo, but had a man behind Mingo and was wide open. Joe didn't see, and we'll see who that was. Darius Washington, we saw him a couple of times last week.
It's kind of unusual for Joe to roll to the right side, which is away from his dominant hand since he's a left-hander. That's a little difficult throw, and he wasn't able to connect.
3rd down and 14. Joe back to pass. They were setting up the screen that they ran earlier. This time it is read by Carencro out to the 40-yard line, maybe
close
the 41, and 3 yards shy. And, Coach, out near midfield, I think this early on, you take an opportunity and you go for it?
These conditions, anything can happen, and I don't think I'd take a chance right here. You got 3 quarters left to kind of get yourself straightened out, so looks like they're going to punt it here.
Joe stays out there, but you see the punt unit make it out there. Boy, you thought that drive had a little promise there at the end of it. High snap. Joe's got to get the kick away and does. The left-footed kicker rolls it inside the 25 down to the 21 is where they will have it. And doesn't matter really where Carencro starts an offensive drive, Coach. They continue just to get down the field.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of their offensive linemen. They're not real tall, big guys, but they're solid. You know, they look like they're probably all in the 200, 225 range, and got one maybe a 250er out there. But they, so far, have gotten the best of the Trojans up front.
Indeed, they have the 6-minute mark. It looks like they'll roll it here because they had that stoppage prior. No, they're stopping it. Officials timeout for the hydration. We'll take it with them and be back in a minute. 13-0. Carencro has the lead. You're watching Ash Trojan football on 446 Sports.
The fine folks at BK Distributors want to thank all the educators for weathering the storms, so to speak, through 2020 and beyond. Thank you for your dedication to our children. The end of the school year awards are now available. Any type of award, trophies, banners, plaques, they do it all at BK Distributors. So with school almost out, that means summer leagues are in full swing. New items, same great prices, and fast turnaround. BK Distributors, Highway 20 in East Pineville behind Arby.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of
Back to JL Butch Stoker Stadium. I am Doug Gann alongside Ernie Lott, and halfway through this first quarter of play, and it has been all Carencro. They come back down into the veer. Handoff goes through there, and a great stop. And look, Coach, he was off to the races had it not been for Bryce Rushing, the young man that comes in from Cedar Creek a year ago. But Bryce Rushing makes that stop.
Yeah, that's the deal with the veer. They're going to turn somebody loose, and then they got to read the keys, not take the fake, and he did a good job that time of staying at home and taking the dive play. But if he hadn't have made the play, he was off to the race.
He was off and going because it is a situation of man-on-man football.
Got a holding call, I believe, here. Didn't see the flag, but or either legal shift.
No, it's going to be holding, and it will be from the line of scrimmage. So first down and 20 now is where it'll be from inside the 15 down to, it looks like, the 12-yard line. First down and 20. Watch the pass here. Back to pass. They work on the screen, but good coverage and pursuit by your Trojans.
I think the Trojans may have seen that probably on the film or something, and they were all over at that time.
They were. So that's the second pass. The last one went for about 70. This one goes for 1, perhaps. Second down, 19 for Carencro. And this is that shifting the field, Coach, that you talk about. The Trojans have got to get a stop here. If they can get the stop here, they should have good field position and be able to get back into this, get into a rhythm of some sorts.
Right. The defense has got to make the stop, and then the offense has got to move the ball. Of course, that's easier said than done.
Spread formation for the Bears. They like to run Caesar out of this. Big high snap. Maybe throwing the timing off, but not so much. He's going down the field with it. In and out. They're going to call pass interference as the ball goes in and out of the hands. And so that'll get back a lot of the yardage on there. You know, I complained in the offseason about that penalty not being a spot of the foul. I'm okay with it on that one. That's a hometown call at its finest from up here in the booth. That's going to be 10 yards, and it'll be second down and 9.
Yeah, that was probably a better thing, because if he hadn't have made that tackle on the receiver that time, he probably would have caught it and scored. So.
And again, some of the things that you will see on the 7-man crew, because every position on the field is covered. And we talk about that. They use 5-man, 6-man, and 7-man crews. This is a full 7-man crew. 6 of the 7 have Superdome experience. So you're seeing a well-called game out there tonight. 10 yards is the penalty, and it'll be second down and 6.
Better than touchdown.
Correct. But, you know, the ball bounced around and out of there. Who knows what would happen. But very impressed by the arm of Caesar. And now it sets them back up to where they can run the football like they like. All of that going on, and it's second down and 6.
Got an unbalanced set here.
Handoff goes to the right side. Good pressure again by that Trojan defensive line. Looks like they're settling in, but a big third down opportunity here is just a couple of yards. You got to get this Carencro team off the field.
That was one of the adjustments that obviously the defense made when they shift over. They got an extra blocker on that side, and Trojans adjusted well that time and kept them from picking up the first down.
Third down and just a couple after it was first down and 20 following the holding call. So Carencro getting a lot of the yards back. Caesar's going to keep it himself. He's grinding those legs and going to get 4 yards of the needed 3, and that's a first down for the Bears of Carencro. From first and 20, they end up getting 21 on 3 plays, and with help from that long penalty.
I don't know what the program's got him listed as, but I guarantee he's probably 6'2", 6'3", and looks like probably close to 200 pounds, if it's anything.
You see the clock up in the corner. It's not working. Chuck doing about 22 different things, but it's 4:04 remaining in the first quarter. The score is correct, 13-0. Carencro has the lead over the Trojans. Motion. Now fakes the little bit of a screen, and there goes Caesar again on the keeper, and he's got a chance to go. We'll see if they're able to chase him down, and they do. Chance Caesar out to the 24-yard line, and I'm telling you, the Golden Bears have this offense just rolling tonight.
They're doing pretty much what they want to do here. They're controlling the line of scrimmage, and they got the Trojans on their heels going every which direction.
Wow, such a promise to this drive as the Golden Bears were down to their 11-yard line, but they continue to not care where they're at on the field. Trojans had an opportunity, but they're on the verge of really letting this go to a 3-score lead. High snap, here comes a wide receiver screen. He's coming to the near side. Trojans looking to string it out, and they do. Still going to pick up 7 on that play, though. As boy, it's difficult to get these guys down at all.
Yeah, well, you got to worry about the dive inside, and then they come with the speed motion to the outside, and the linebackers are committed to the dive inside, and of course they're picking up big chunks of yardage.
3:08 to go here, first quarter of play, 13-0. Carencro has the lead in this one and marching for more inside the Valex Federal Credit Union red zone. Handoff goes to the first man. Good pressure, but going to be very near the first down, and third down and short, less than a yard.
Snap hit the ground that time, but he was still able to pick it up and get it to the running back, and picked up almost the first down.
Trojans have got to, I mean, you're trying to get them to get a stop out of this, but you know it's 4-down territory for the Bears because the Trojans have not shown signs of back-to-back stops. 2.5 to go, first quarter of play, 13-0. Carencro has the lead here from Alexandria and marching for more. Down into the veer and set, fullback gets it, and they are going to give him just to the line of scrimmage inside the 15 to about the 14, and that should be the first down, and it is. They'll move the sticks. Not goal to goal as it is inside the 14. Oh, about a turnover would be good right here, Coach.
Yeah, the wet ball, they've dropped it a number of times, but it's usually on the snap and not on the handoff, so Trojans haven't been able to come up with it.
Just mounting long drive after long drive here, chewing away at this clock, and down and ready to go. Snap is back, and you knew that Caesar was going to keep that good penetration into the backfield. That was Andrus back there once again coming in and making that play.
You can see on the film there they pulled 2 guys that time and it was leading them around, and it was a nice job by the Trojans that time to plug in the gaps and only picked up a short gain. Watch for the option outside this time.
They spread it out like this, and he likes to run the football when they do that. All 11 men within 8 yards of the ball. Caesar stays in the shotgun, does a little head fake, and takes off running to the right-hand side and read so well out there. Great job defensively by the Trojans to come up and make that stop. Pickup of just 4, but we've seen Caesar go for big yards on that carry.
Yeah, and the secondary has to respect the pass because, you know, if he doesn't run, he's going to throw the pass, and linebackers, they have to commit to the run. So, you know, it's tough right now. Everybody's one-on-one, and he's making them pay.
Need a stop right here, trying to hold Carencro perhaps to a field goal attempt. Caesar back in the shotgun as well, brings a man in motion. Fakes the screen and just wide open onto the outside to the tight end drag, and that's a touchdown. And beautiful play call, Coach, was there. I mean, they fake everything to the right, and you have the tight end drag across the middle of the field and wide open.
Yeah, and that was shades of the playoff game 2 years ago when Ash did the same thing for score 2-point conversion and fake everything to one side, go back against the grain, and he was wide open that time.
3-score lead now for Carencro as they've scored on all 3 drives here in the first quarter. The Trojans have had it a couple of times and have ran, I think, maybe 6 plays.
Yeah, and the fans are shell-shocked, mighty quiet outside, and understandably.
Gotta believe that's offsides.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Got back there, almost intercepted the snap.
Unless somebody moved up
and
there.
Now watch them go up about half the distance, and that offense will come back out here, Coach, and go for 2.
Right, and make it a 3-score game.
I think you keep the ball in Caesar's hand and let him just look for a hole and get there. These Trojans unable really to get an answer for the quarterback. Just solid quarterback play from Carencro on this rainy Friday night in Alexandria.
Well, and the guys from Carencro said that was the key to their offense, and there you go.
And he does just that. He looks for a spot to go, sneaks to the left, gets in for the 2-point conversion, and it is 21-0. First quarter of play. Carencro on top of your Trojans. Going to take a quick 30-second break. We'll be right back after this on 446 Sports.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
We are back to live action here, and it has been all Golden Bears. They are in the white shirts, the gold pants, and ready to go to work. 21-0, flawless on offense, and have scored on drives of 50, 60 yards plus, and then a couple of them over 80. That one high and into the air, heading towards Clark. He corrals it at the 19, now 20. Out to the 25, trying to cut up the middle, 30, and does. Trojans will start once again at around the 35, 36-yard line. Finally keeps the legs moving, gets out to the 37-yard line. Coach, but they've shown no real signs, and they've got to do something to get some of this momentum away from the Bears of Carencro.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. The conditions are not conducive to throw the ball, even though Carencro has been able to throw it fairly well. But we're going to have to get some running game here. And here we got somebody limping off for the Trojans. I'm trying to get his number 80, 85.
2 for 2 throwing the ball is Carencro for 78 yards. Joe back in the shotgun, 2 to the near side, 2 to the top, and Carencro just bringing 9 men in the box here, now 10. And the Trojans look. See who took the timeout. We had the Carencro takes the timeout. We'll keep it right here. Coach, 24 seconds to go in the first quarter in a one that's been all Carencro in this one.
Yeah, I think that was a different formation maybe they haven't seen, and there was a little confusion by the secondary for Carencro, so they called a timeout. Didn't want to leave somebody wide open on that situation. I don't know, you want to throw the ball, but at the same time, we haven't shown any running game to amount to anything. Hadn't had the ball long enough hardly to do anything.
Buckeye in their home opener, the head coaching debut of Coach Ben McLaughlin, and the Buckeye Panthers are lead blocking that one 13-0.
That's interesting.
So that's good to see. Coach McLaughlin, always great to talk to. Trojans back in action from the 38-yard line. First down and 10, bringing Mingo in motion. And they're going to do a little trickeration there, and that's Jalen Johnson trying to get to the outside. It does. Goes Johnson, 50, now 40, and they are not going to catch Jalen Johnson. Touchdown, Johnson, touchdown, Trojans. 62 yards reverse, and Coach, that's how you open things up.
Yeah, maybe that'll wake up the Trojans because they were kind of in the doldrums both on offense and defense, and it's got the crowd fired up here a little bit. So maybe things will turn around here in the next quarter because there's about 11 seconds left in this one, and Trojans got to start playing a whole lot better defensively.
Trojans come out in the swinging gate themselves, and there was a unsportsmanlike conduct, Coach, at the end of the play against Carencro. That will get marked off on the kickoff. The touchdown is good. Oh, they're calling it against the Trojans, or look, maybe it's offsetting. They're pointing both sides of it. No, they're asking Bachman if he wants it, and they're going to take it on the kickoff.
Must have been some trash talking or something going on. I'm not sure. I didn't see it.
You know, you'll take that at this point. Anything to get yourself a little bit of momentum, and that may fire that defense right back up. They shut the door on the swinging gate, and they'll line up for the PAT. 21-6 with 11 seconds to go. High snap. Van Dyke gets it up, puts this one in there, and it is good. 21-7. Going to leave it right here as we've got the end of the quarter break coming up soon. But, Coach, they'll be kicking off from out near midfield in this one.
Yeah, and he may be able to get it in the end zone for sure this time, but they'll have to start on the 20. But here again, defense has got to find an answer somewhere to get a stop to this Carencro offense, which we haven't done so far in the first half.
And this is one of those that, yeah, they're bringing him all the way up to the 50-yard line is where he'll kick it off. Yeah, they're sending him. Wow, that's a big penalty. Now he'll be kicking off from the 45, and I don't think you onside it right here, but you don't want to give any momentum back, so just knock the thing into the end zone.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they did. Of course, that would be a surprise to them as well, I think. I don't know. Shades of a Boyles High School, they onside it every time.
Every time. 21-7. Carencro leads the Trojans, but an impressive 62-yard touchdown run there on the reverse.
I think Carencro's anticipating they may onside it, so they cheated up, I noticed.
I just say, and they do run the onside. Trojans have a chance to fall on it, and they do. The Trojans get that one back, it looks like. Going to see there's purple shirts pointing one way, white shirts pointing the other, the only one. Oh, and it goes the other way, in and out of the hands of the Trojans and over to Carencro. Man, I'm telling you, Coach, there was 3 or 4 of them around the ball.
Yeah, I don't know how they missed out on that one.
Goodness gracious, the 34, so probably close to the worst or the best starting possession for Carencro right now. Nobody wanted to get on the football. First down and 10 for the Bears. Trojans have to try to hang on and get a stop here and get back into this. They're just down 2 scores. A lot of football remaining. Handoff goes to the right side. Good stop there, just a yard gain perhaps, and that's going to end things here in the first quarter. Your Trojans trail 21-7, but a little bit of momentum following that big 62-yard play. We'll be back to see what the second quarter brings us. You're watching Ash Trojan football right here on 446 Sports.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever.
Back to live
Simple,
action we go. You've seen the commercial fade its way out of there, and quickly Carencro back onto the football, 2nd down and 8 as they set up and looking to run that option, and that was ran well but covered up good in the backfield. And he's getting back, had an opportunity, coach, to lose 7 or 8, and just a great job of running to get back onto the up to just a loss of a couple, but it's going to be 3rd down now and 12.
Yeah, we did a lot of arm tackling. He was able to break those arm tackles, and 3 guys were there, and he still managed to keep from losing big yardage.
3rd down and 11, and this is the first time that Carencro has been behind the sticks all game.
Watch quarterback on the draw here. I don't look for him to throw it myself.
When they spread out that offense, they like to get the ball and keep it in the hands of Caesar. Calls for the ball, but he hesitated a little bit on there. Maybe a motion. Oh, they're going to call delay against Carencro, and what was 3rd and 11 will now move back to 3rd and 16. And, Coach, what you have to do here is just avoid some sort of uncertainty out of this.
Yeah, I don't think he, well, I don't know. Got to wonder whether he's going to throw it or keep it himself. Be nice if the Trojans could pick one off here.
Back to pass is Caesar. He's looking deep. He's going to be swallowed up in the backfield. The big sack, waiting for something to develop. And the Trojans have, as difficult as they were having it in the first, they have now woken up on this one. And that's what you like to see out of that Trojan defense, making some adjustments as we go along.
You know,
and 10:34 and counting. Trojans, again, get the ball to start the half, but they need this quarter to be theirs. They lost the first one 21-7. Running somebody on the field late is Carencro. That's number 11, and their 11th player, and that's the punter that came on there. And they're down to 3 and 2 and 1. And that's going to be, should have been a delay, but it gets that kickoff, getting out of the way of the Trojans and letting it roll up, and they'll have the ball at the 44-yard line. Again, working on the camera, trying to get the other one up and going. 21-7, the Trojans trail, Coach, but you got to believe they've got a little bit of that momentum. If they could come and put something together here, they're back in business.
Yeah, they looked a whole lot better that last series, and I think just between you and I, and well, in the audience, the game last week against Pineville kind of made them get a little overconfident, and they find out they got to really step the game up, and they're playing a football team here.
Back ready to go are the Trojans. Bordelon in the backfield, shotgun where he's been all season and all last season. Datlin Cunningham yet to get on track here. Tries to get this one back up the middle and break it through is Cunningham for a big 1st down, and that's the one that we needed. Datlin Cunningham continues to churn. You know, we heard Wyatt Dozart tell us last night, he says, I'm a big old boy, and if I don't wrap him up when I hit him, he's going to run over me. And Wyatt's a big and strong inside lineman.
Yeah, the running game they got to make Carencro play honest here.
Comes a handoff to Cunningham once again, sweeping to the near side, 40, and coming up, making
nice
a tremendous tackle. That's leading the way for the Slobber Knocker Award, but he picks up 5. So the Trojans with that pace offense trying to get on track.
Number 23, he got the Slobber Knocker Award right now. He come up in nice lick.
Watch for Miriam Mingo. He lines up in the slot, and safety comes over to the near side, so you've got man coverage. Cunningham takes it to the outside, needs a stiff arm and gets it. Gets inside the 30 to the 29-yard line goes Datlin Cunningham, and they are just leaning on the senior number 3 running that football on this drive.
I noticed they pulled a guy on the onside that time and kicked the defensive end out in nice game. That must have been an adjustment that the Trojans made there under the tent there.
Good, solid stiff arm by Cunningham because the Golden Bear that was on defense had made the play, but just able to push out of that. Cunningham now gets the ball again from Bordelon and trying to run up the back of his offensive line and is brought down after just a yard gain. Will be second down and 9.
Glad to see the Trojan offensive line is starting to come off the ball and move the defensive front for Carencro, unlike what they did in the first quarter.
8:39 to go until halftime. The Trojans trying to get another score back. Remember, they get the ball to start the second half. Joe back to pass, but there is going to be a timeout for Carencro. Before that, we'll keep it here. Coach, just tale of two quarters right here. The Trojans just have to pay this one off.
Yeah, I think, like I say, we were kind of sleepwalking in my estimation in the first quarter there. Maybe it took a little for granted against this Carencro team, and in this last couple of series, the defense has awakened, and so has the offense. So it's looking more like what the Trojans should be doing.
Yeah, this is what you expected to see out of it, but resiliency is what we look at, and they took some Mike Tyson type punches in the mouth from this Carencro Golden Bear team, but they have an opportunity to make it a one-score game if they can finish off this drive. Second down and 9 coming out of the Carencro timeout. That is their second timeout, so the Golden Bears have one timeout remaining. 8:26 until halftime. Bordelon in the shotgun. Throws it to the near side, complete to Mingo, but a great open field tackle by the corner on the near side, and that's going to be a loss of a yard they'll give him.
Yeah, the blocker didn't pick his man off that time, and he was able to make the tackle for no gain or maybe even a loss of half a yard.
Yeah, it was second and 9, now third and 11, so they give him a loss of 2, trying to run that wide receiver screen. And looking to get something going. You try to get as much of it as you can here. It's third down 11. You know you're in 4-down territory where the Trojans are at. The kicking game, not what it has been in the last few years. But you need touchdowns in this one against a very powerful Golden Bears team. Here comes motion. Back to pass is Joe. Screen set up again. Just a good lob, but Joe overthrows that one. And that pass was set up like the big 70-yard pass that Carencro had, looking for the lob, but unable to get things going. And that'll keep that offense back out there, Coach. But just too much traffic over there where Joe was looking.
Right. They read it well, and he had to try to loft it over the defensive guys that were coming, and just threw it just a tad high. And because they read it so well, they had 3 guys out there.
Well, as much momentum as you had coming into this drive, you're looking at 4th down and a little longer than 10 from the 29-yard line. And Coach Bachman, is going to get the timeout. We'll take it with him. Be back in 30 seconds. You're watching Ash Trojan football on 446 Sports.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by 2 walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
And we are back. Rain continues to fall here. It's not a heavy rain, but just an annoying rain.
Yeah, I stepped outside and stuck my hand out there. It's like a sprinkle every now and then, but it's still coming down a little bit.
4th down and a long 10, 7:55 to go until halftime. Trojans trailing this one 21-7, but have looked good on this last couple of drives, setting up the screen again. And, wow, just telegraphing that play, Coach. They've ran that 3 times. That little bit of a screen, and the coaching staff from the Trojans not real excited about that one down in the offensive side, just on the other end of the press box.
Yeah, they were beating the table down there. I don't know what they were supposed to have done, but it didn't look very good or very sharp at the time.
21-7, Carencro comes back out onto the field, have only been stopped 1 time in this game, scored on 3 of 4 possessions, and the Trojans, a little bit of momentum, but got that defense has got to keep that offense in there. You were hoping to go down and make this a one-score game. The defense got to step back up. First down and 10 for the Golden Bears.
From the got a turnover right here.
29-yard line. Caesar's going to keep it himself, and there's big Wyatt Dozart corralling him from behind.
To me, he's the key to their whole offense. You stop him, get pressure on him. I haven't seen a whole lot out of any other of the running backs other than him, pretty much.
Correct, and he throws the ball so well. You know, we've only seen him throw it 2 or 3 times in this game, but has been on the money with his pass. 7:21 and counting. They'll officially give him 2 yards on the play, make it 2nd down and 8 from the 33-yard line. Have to get to the 40, so 2nd down and 7. Caesar under center, tries to spread out a little bit, but good pursuit by that defensive line. Coach, and you know that Coach Mercer and that team have made some adjustments. New defensive coordinator for the Trojans. And they've adjusted the squeegee, so we're on squeegee watch over here. Now they've wrapped up the squeegee, doing a great job of clearing that window for us.
Yeah, it might be able to see. That's like I say, it's not raining really, really hard, and to keep the drip off there, we'll be able to see better.
3rd down and 6. They'll give him a yard. He's out to the 34-yard line. Trojans need another stop, and here comes Caesar to the near side. He's wrapped up in the backfield. That's Big Bryce.
They've all but abandoned the Veer offense. It's just Caesar left, Caesar right, and
those are Josh Marie in there on that, rushing in there, and man, just that interior line play, Coach, has stepped it up the last couple of drives.
Right, and like I say, I hate to keep harping on it, but I think the Trojans came in kind of half-stepping because of last week. They, totally dominated Pineville. Well, this is a whole different group that they're going against. Their offensive line is pretty solid, and as well as their defense.
Need one of those bad snaps, and that one rolls under his legs, and we'll get it. Got to cover it up, and the Trojans will be right there, right on cue. There you go, and just big-time momentum change for the Trojans. They'll get it inside the 18-yard line to the 17, and just when you needed that bad snap, there you go.
Yeah, and like I say, I harp on it all the time, but special teams, gets overlooked a lot, but it's a key part of the game, and it can, hopefully the Trojans can convert right here. And they call it just a hydration time out here, I believe.
Yeah, this is the 6-minute one. We'll keep it right here. And, Coach, just you talk about momentum the entire time. You go from a 21-0 deficit. You score one late on a little trickeration, if you will. Defense starts to playing good. How is it a team gets down 21-0 but still find the fight in them to keep fighting away? Although it's early, they still continue to punch away.
Well, I think that's a contribute to the senior leadership and also the coaches, to keep them pumped up. Don't put your head down. They've got 3 quarters to play here, and then come back and get back in this game, and that's what they're doing right here.
Joe's got Cunningham in the back with him there from the 18. Would like to see an 18-yard touchdown run from Cunningham right here. Said he's only going to get about a yard. Boy, if Joe keeps that one, he walks into the end zone.
He'd have walked in the end zone. You're right. Quarterback was wide open that time. Nobody even assigned to him. But, Joe has not shown to be a runner a whole lot, but he can run the ball. He's got decent speed.
Well, we've seen the Trojans throw out of that last week where he pulled the ball and rolled to his left and just dumped it off. Back to pass. Now they're setting up that screen again. This time it's complete, but great work again. And I'm telling you, that corner on that far side that's on Amirion Mingo is just so solid. And you have got to get out of this with some points.
Yeah, he's made a nice tackle there. Of course, Mingo's not a real big guy, but he kept him from breaking that one. It would have been 6, I believe.
Looked like he got a big paw on that one and was able to hang on until he got some help. Was the cornerback from Carencro.
Looks like a little confusion here about what they want to run.
4:47 remaining until halftime. Trojans trail in this one 21-7, but knocking on the door. Back to passes, Joe. Stepping up in the pocket. Sails this one in, and it's into the end zone. Touchdown, Trojan. Marion Mingo just from Joe Bordelon, and that was what we saw the way Joe threw the ball in the Jamboree game. He put that zip on it.
Yeah, that was a bullet.
Goodness gracious, just got man-on-man coverage with Mingo, and you'll take your odds when there's not a safety defending over the top. Then you run that post to him, and Mingo just on the money from Bordelon. An opportunity to get it back to 7. Already a one-score game, just trying to get it back to 7. Snap is back, kick is up, and it is good. 21-14, Trojans score a couple of them back-to-back. We will be back right after this. You're watching Ash Trojan Football on 446 Sports.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Just a game of momentum changes. The Trojans' defense have really set the tone. And, Coach, they're punting the ball. You don't count that as a turnover on there. But anytime you can get something like that to happen, you take that. And the Trojans had to cap off that drive, and they did. Looking at 3rd down and 11, and Joe zips the ball in from 18 yards out for the touchdown to Mingo at 4:32 remaining, and the Trojans are set to kick that off. This time now back on their own side of the field. You remember the last one was kicked off from the 45, and that was the onside kick that Carencro retained. This one skirts its way over to the left, is going to be at the 15-yard line. Not a great kick. Back to the 40 now, to the 50, and we'll see if they pull it back. Think that there's a flag, and it is on the 35, and that could save the Trojans. They'll run it from the 31, so we believe it'll be a 15-yard penalty from the 30-yard line. And, Coach, a low-line drive kickoff like that does not give your kick cover team a chance to get down there. The Trojans are going to get bailed out on this one on the penalty, but that could have been dangerous.
Right. He didn't get in the air under the ball, and, of course, that could be attributed to the wet field there. Didn't have a good plant foot. The special teams, like I said, the kicking game, it comes into play more than people know, especially early in the season when everybody's new to the new kickers, new cover team, all that kind of stuff. And so far, Trojans had the better of it. That time we lucked out on that one.
All the way back to the 15-yard line. So mark that penalty at about a 40-yard one because of where the play had ended up in Trojan territory. 4:21 remaining until halftime. Trojans trail 21-14, but they've scored the game's last 2 touchdowns. And you love the spin listening to different sides of the way things are called. And I catch a little bit of the Carencro crew up there, and they were wanting to get back to momentum and chewing up some clock. And they said that penalty that put them back 15 gave them more opportunity to run more clock from a deep field. So it's all spin. Injured Trojan on the field. 4:10. We'll keep it here, Coach. Coming up at halftime, we're going to give you a little bit of a recap of the first as we go into it, and we'll give you some insight when we come back out. But during the middle of halftime, we'll see some of our sponsors that make all of this happen, and then we'll let you see all of the sights and sounds that go on from the field tonight. You got to love the resiliency. You keep using that word over and over of the Trojans. They found themselves in a hole 21-0. 3 quick scores by Carencro, who did everything they wanted to do on the first 3 drives. And then defensive coordinator Josh Mercer and that group said, hold on a second. We're gonna shut this down. And then the offense now has started to click following the special teams snafu, and we get back to 21-14 where we are. Trojans can get a stop here, get this thing tied up. They do get the ball coming out of the second half.
It doesn't look good. It looked like an ankle there. They haven't told him off. Can't see the number, but it was one of the secondary guys, I think, or is it the linebacker?
It looks like Clark is who it is, the starting safety and just a big-time player, but we'll look and see. That rain is holding things up. Handoff goes to the near side. There's going to be a hold, and it's going to come back, but the ball's on the ground. Carencro will recover, but this thing's going to be 10 yards from the spot of the foul, and that one will come back.
Yeah, that was pretty obvious there on the end of the line of scrimmage. He takedown enabled him to get around the corner. It was a good call by the official.
That's the pressure of this Trojan defense starting to be a step quicker than the offense of Carencro, and drastic things have to happen at that point.
You know, this quarterback had been carrying it for most of the 2 or 3 series there, and now they've gone back to running the true veer offense, and that time they got him outside, but due to the hole, he's going to be a long.
They'll put the ball back to just inside. The nose of the football is about halfway between the 9 and the 10. Golden Bears lead this one 21-14. We've got 3:50 and counting until halftime. Snap is back to Caesar. He's going to tuck it and try to run to this side, but finding nothing from the interior line of that Trojans. And you're going to get a personal foul, as it looked like the Trojan player just jumped on the top of the pile at the end of it, and that was just going to be brutal for the Trojans. It's going to be unnecessary roughness, we believe.
Yeah, that was a stupid on his part after they had him stopped for a very little gain.
It's going to make this thing 2nd down and 5, we think. Dead ball, personal foul against the Trojans.
As a coach, that makes you want to pull your hair out when you do a good job of stopping them, you know, and then now you're going to give them a 1st down.
And look, that makes that play 3rd down and behind the sticks, and you go to a 1st down now from the 25, and you talk about momentum, and dadgum, you got to goodness, a play like that just hurts you after the kid was on the ground.
Yeah, look for the bomb right here. I think they're going to go for the big one.
2 to the top, now 1 in motion, settles in next to Caesar. Play action, back to pass. The swing out this way, and a lot of room down the right side as that one was played perfectly. And there's a flag down at the 22-yard line, and this one will come all the way back again.
I think we might have had a whole offensive hole in that time.
Penalty flags have done Carencro in the 2nd quarter. They clinging still to that 1 touchdown lead, but have not been as effective as they were on those first 3 drives. Winfield is up on Pineville 14-0. Winfield 14, Pineville 0 in that game up the road at Winfield. 21-14 in this one. Last score we got from Block was and Buckeye was 13-0. Actually, it's 27-0. Buckeye has that lead in that one as we see the score go across. Back to the 12-yard line following the hold from the spot of the foul. And now the Trojans again have the opportunity, coach, to flex a little muscle, but you just gotta keep the foot on the gas here. Caesar with the inside handoff. Here's that trickeration again. Got to come up and get it. Babineau is getting to the outside again. Thankfully, had 28 yards to go for the first as Manny picks up, coach, about 20 on that one.
The play, both offensively and defensively, has gotten a little sloppy with the penalties here in the last 3 or 4 minutes of this first half, but Carencro got an opportunity to get a score here if they can have a big play.
There goes Caesar. We saw him run the ball a lot. And just getting to the outside, getting out of bounds will be near the first and does get it. So you were at 1st down and 28 from the 12, and now it's 3rd down. They mark him out of bounds 2 yards shy, 3rd down and 2.
Clark tried to come back out on the field, but he was hobbling. There's no sense in him trying to play on a bad wheel.
No, not with 2.5 to go. Go ahead and get him an extended break into the halftime. 3rd down and a long 1, maybe 2.
Well, you know who's going to carry the ball for sure right here.
If it gets out of Caesar's hands, I would truly be amazed. He does. He keeps it himself, bangs through there, gets the first down. Forward progress will give him out to the 39 and a first down.
He's a big load. I mean, that dude's looks like a fullback or 200 and something pounds. He has to be.
Buckeye on top in their game. We said 27-0, unless they've scored again. First down and 10 from our game. Carencro has it at the 39-yard line. Man in motion comes around. Play action, looking to go over the top again. A wide open, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. And that's the only thing that has kept those Carencro fans from getting up and cheering. That went right in and out of the hands to a wide open number 2 out of the backfield.
They brought the back out on a wheel route that time, and he was wide open. Nobody picked him up. That would have to been the linebacker to pick him up, and if he'd have caught it, it would
he'd still six. Be, yeah, they'd be getting ready for the swinging gate once again. Second down and 10 for the Bears. Caesar comes to the near side.
Student body.
Stringing it out. Good job of diving in and making that tackle. The clock will continue to run out near midfield. 1:50 and counting until halftime. And the Bears, I think, are content to run the ball, run some clock. I think if the Trojans get a stop right here, perhaps they use one of their 2 remaining timeouts.
They brought student body left that time. They pulled the guards and tackles and had to lead backs and everybody running in front of him.
The band was coming this way, everyone. Caesar's got it. He's back to pass. Here comes the blitz. Oh, in and out of the hands, almost intercepted and just flying from his safety spot for the Trojans. Or linebacker spot was Andrus again, and he is just on fire.
Caesar got nailed that time. He got up pretty slow, got his bell rung a little bit. Of course, he's a big old boy, so he didn't crawl off the field, so that's not good for the Trojans. He's still there.
I don't want to be greedy, but the last time we asked for a bad snap, we got it. So perhaps we'll get one of those again.
Yeah, well, I just hope our guy catches it if he does kick it.
Snap is back. This one is good. Bounces around. Going to get that kick out of there. Great job by the kicker to get back there. And that's going to put the Trojans back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. But not only the kick, but able to get that punt, get the snap back, corral it in, and get that kick out of there.
Yeah, we were lucky didn't get called for a block in the back there because they had somebody blocking one of the Carencro guys going down the field. But thank goodness they didn't call it. But still, with a minute 20, you got a situation here where you don't want to take a chance. Give them the ball and throw an interception, but at the same time,
you get Cunningham the ball, or you try to roll that little screen because you know Carencro is going to be coming after, trying to get the ball back down here deep in their own territory. Snap is back to Joe. Thought about the wide receiver screen, now going over the top. And the hold is not going to be called. Receiver couldn't get off. Jalen Johnson was unable to get off the line of scrimmage there. Second down and 10 now, and Jalen was going to go to the house himself on that one. But goodness, that stops the clock just 5 seconds off of it.
Yeah, that was a case of a missed call right there. He definitely got held off the line of scrimmage, and he would have been wide open to make the play. Now you got to worry about
nobody covering Washington to the near side. And you've got man coverage out there. Washington now settles back in to a little bit of the slot. Nobody covering up, though, and now he goes in motion again, goes in behind Joe. Here comes the blitz, and that's that screen that's set up that has just not worked at all tonight. They've tried to throw it in a couple of different varieties, Coach, but have not been effective with it once.
Carencro's done a good job of reading it. Their linemen, once they feel they're not getting any blocking on them, they stop at the line of scrimmage, and even if it had completed, it wouldn't have gone anywhere.
Now you look at a situation where
give them the ball
you've ran
back.
9 seconds off is all you've run, and you're dangerously close to turning the ball over in your own territory. There's the handoff to Cunningham, who slips down off of the back leg of one of his blockers. And if you are Carencro, you got to call a timeout, I believe. Yeah. Minute 1 and they have not called it, so they're going to 35 on the clock. So if you're the Trojans, you let it run down as much as you can. Joe stays in there. Nobody on Jalen Johnson up at the top of the field. And now they're covering Jalen up, and they're going to run off as much time as they can as Joe, football savvy, will run this one down and more than likely get the timeout called with about a second to go and go out and reset things. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. And the Trojans will get the timeout. Just a quick one to stop the clock, but 22 seconds remaining. And remember, at halftime, we are going to give you the sights and the sounds of the game. You'll watch. Normally the band and the dance line get out there, I see the band down on the sideline or on the track area getting ready to go out. So it'll be a muddy time out on the field for them, as this rain has not been heavy. It's just been steady.
Yeah. This is a situation here where if I was Joe, I think I would try to kick it out of bounds, not give them a chance to return the ball, but then at the same time, that's going to give them at least 1 or 2 plays.
I think
for Carencro.
If you can get away from there, I don't mind the Trojans playing back in a prevent type of defense. They just have to get them about 40 or get the ball out to about the 45 or 50, and I think you survive a couple of plays from this Carencro team. But you have to really execute this. Snap is back. Joe's got it. Gets that one away. And perfect punt for Joe. And they get it out of there. And, man, that's such a good one.
Nice roll on in the ball. And so Carencro's going to have about 12 seconds.
48-yard punt with 12 seconds to go. And if you're the Golden Bears, I think you got to just take a knee on this one and get out of this with the lead. Trojans, though we don't know, Trojans will get the ball coming out of the second half.
Got to be concerned that they could come back with that wheel route that was wide open a while ago to the back, coming out of the backfield. That was the only thing that I would be concerned with right here. If they try to run a pass play, that would be the one that I would call, because he was wide open.
You don't think that you get beat deep on a Caesar run because you're not up crowding the box, I would not believe. Trojans do. They get within 7 or 8 yards of the ball, and now they back off of this one. Handoff comes to the near side. Got to make a tackle, though, and they get down there with 7 and 6. The clock will stop with 5 seconds for the change to be reset, but the Trojans, or the Carencro Golden Bears, are out of timeouts.
Football's been spotted.
Ball spotted. Trojans have got to get back because you don't want to go over the head. And that runs out the first half as the clock did start on the snap. We've reached halftime. It is Carencro 21, Ash 14. Don't be fooled by it, though. Carencro started out this one 21-0, Coach, and that defense has really responded.
Yeah, there's going to be some adjustments. I'm sure Carencro is going to look at some things, their blocking schemes. Trojans made some nice adjustments on defense that have shut them down in that second quarter, and we'll see what they do. And on the other hand, Ash has got to make some adjustments. They haven't run the ball a whole lot, but I look for them to come back in the second half and try to bust a long run every now and then.
We'll try to get some stats for you as we come out and get ready for the second half. Got about 18 minutes until we get things going in the second half. Golden Bears of Carencro lead this one 21-14, but the Trojans have put the last 2 touchdowns on the board, and they get the ball to start things off in the second half. What's going to happen in the second half? You'll have to come back for that one. This is a good one from Alexandria. Golden Bears lead this one 21-14. You're watching Ash Trojan football on 446 Sports.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by 2 walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, It's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
The fine folks at BK Distributors want to thank all the educators for weathering the storms, so to speak, through 2020 and beyond. Thank you for your dedication to our children. The end of the school year awards are now available. Any type of award, trophies, banners, plaques, they do it all at BK Distributors. So with school almost out, that means summer leagues are in full swing. New items, same great prices, and fast turnaround. BK Distributors, Highway 20 in East Pineville behind Arby's.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
The fine folks at BK Distributors want to thank all the educators for weathering the storms, so to speak, through 2020 and beyond. Thank you for your dedication to our children. The end of the school year awards are now available. Any type of award, trophies, banners, plaques, they do it all at BK Distributors. So with school almost out, that means summer leagues are in full swing. New items, same great prices, and fast turnaround. BK Distributors, Highway 20 in East Pineville behind Arby's.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone, day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
The fine folks at BK Distributors want to thank all the educators for weathering the storms, so to speak, through 2020 and beyond. Thank you for your dedication to our children. The end of the school year awards are now available. Any type of award, trophies, banners, plaques, they do it all at BK Distributors. So with school almost out, that means summer leagues are in full swing. New items, same great prices, and fast turnaround. BK Distributors, Highway 20 in East Pineville behind Arby's.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night?
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back at Ash Trojan football here in Alexandria, and we have on the sideline Doug Gann with head coach Thomas Bachman. What you got down there?
Coach, it started out, got ourselves behind the 8 ball, behind the chains, if you will, down 21-0. But resiliency is the word that comes to mind. You guys fought hard and made this thing a ball game.
Yeah, we dug ourselves a hole, self-inflicted wounds, couple busted plays there. Nice opening drive by them, and just nothing out of us early in the first quarter. Like I said, a lot of self-inflicted wounds, but our kids are going to battle. There's a whole half of football left, and we're fixing to get it right here with a chance to tie it. So let's go make the most of this battle. I just told them at halftime, this is a game that's about grit and toughness and resiliency, and your character is going to show through with how you play. So let's go put it on display.
Looks like the defense really stepped up there towards the end, Coach. Good luck on the rest of the way, and let's keep fighting.
Yep, let's battle.
There you go. Head coach Thomas Bachman down on the sideline with us, and you can tell it's difficult to get more than one question out of Coach Thomas Bachman. But we are just about 5 minutes away from getting this thing cranked back up. I looked, Chuck, at some of the eyes of these players as they were walking out beside Coach Bachman and I, and there's a lot of intensity. The Trojans look to carry the momentum all the way back into this second half. So we'll throw it back up to you guys, and we'll rejoin you for the second half in just a moment.
All righty, and yes, and that was Doug Gann with head coach Thomas Bachman on the sideline. Some little extra we've added to it. We're going to go to a few commercial breaks here, and we'll be back with you in just a few moments.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
The fine folks at BK Distributors want to thank all the educators for weathering the storms, so to speak, through 2020 and beyond. Thank you for your dedication to our children. The end of the school year awards are now available. Any type of award, trophies, banners, plaques, they do it all at BK Distributors. So with school almost out, that means summer leagues are in full swing. New items, same great prices, and fast turnaround. BK Distributors, Highway 20 in East Pineville behind Arby's.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
And yes, I think we have some coming in, Coach. You were asking if I had some scores. We do have a few of them in there. Peabody 22, Lafayette Renaissance 0. That game is at halftime. Grant all over Montgomery 47-0 in. Well, Grant's in there a couple of times. So we'll see. Yeah, that's 47-0 in that one. Grant is winning there, and we are ready to get back things. Coach, a lot of momentum. We were able to talk to Coach Bachman. He said, man, I'm excited about where we are. Let's go out there and go to work.
What did you say about the couple of guys with the injuries with the ankles and stuff? One of them was Clark. I think he looks like he may be out for the rest of the game.
Well,
he tried to get back in there, but,
but they were waving that off.
The secondary guys and can't run, that's not a good thing.
No, not at all. And plus, he has been back there on kick returns as well. And that rain has affected our window, too.
I was listening to the Carencro announcers a while ago. Pretty obvious what Carencro's offense consisted of in that first half was quarterback right, quarterback left, and quarterback up the middle, and then throw it a couple of times. But the rest of the time, it was pretty much all quarterback.
Trojans are set to receive this one. Kick is a high sky kick. Fair catch is called for and made at the 25-yard line, and that's where your Trojans will start this second half.
I guess that's one way to stop the return.
Indeed it is. Get it up in that rain and let your kick team get down there. Great to be able to talk with Coach Thomas Bachman. I know he doesn't, not a fan of pregame and in-game talking, but the focus that he had was as much as you've seen in game from him, and that's great to see. You know, the Trojans. He told me off the air on there. He said, "Get ready. They're looking to come out and pound the football." Now that may mean they come out and throw it, but thinking we were still on the air. And they do. They come out and they try to throw it to the motion man. That one in and out of the hands of Jalen Johnson.
He threw it a little bit over the top of his head, but I think that was one Jalen tell you he should have made the catch on. But
good pursuit from the Bears defense, maybe trying to catch them back on their heels just a little bit and come out throwing. But like to see them come out and maybe grind out. But you see Carencro, they bunch up that line of scrimmage and put 8 in the box, if you will. They really load that line of scrimmage to stop Datlin Cunningham. Here comes the motion once again on 2nd and 10. Joe rolling this way, trying to square his body up now. Got a man. That's Washington to the near side, and the ball's going to be picked off, but they're going to call pass interference is what it looks like.
Got back judge is going to see what.
Looks like we'll see what's going on there. Pass interference against the defense, and it is a 10-yard penalty and going to be a first down for the Trojans. We saw Joe put the pass in the middle of 2 defenders last week. He did it there again. But a wet ball, you've got to be careful because it can bounce up and get out of there.
Yeah, I think the defense actually took it away. It's hard to tell, but, it looked like they might have taken away from the receiver. But at any rate, it's a first down for the Trojans due to the pass interference call.
Yeah, they had the ball back where the flag was. They're moving it back now to the 41-yard line because, as we have stressed over and over, it is not a spot of the foul penalty. Just underway here, second half. New cameraman beside me there.
Uh-oh.
Ball goes on the ground. Joe able to fall back on it. Coach, 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Yeah, that was a situation they didn't get a personal foul because, in high school, he's not going to advance the ball. He fell on it, and they'd come piling on, but nothing was called that time. Joe just dropped the football.
Trojans have got to come out and set the tone in this one. You got to think if they can find a way to get this ball into the end zone, come all the way back and tie this thing up after being down 21-0. Here's Joe again rolling to his right. Dumps that one off, kind of a shovel pass, if you will, overhand. But again, Coach, you talked about it. He's rolling to his right and he's got a square to the left, and it's difficult to square his shoulders up, so he had to kind of shot put the ball out.
Yeah, that's a little new wrinkle that didn't see last year because most everything that Joe threw last year was either straight drop back or you roll to his left-hand side, and I'm sure they picked that up on the film, so they tried to change it up a little bit here.
Here the Trojans are on 3rd down and 10. They get the penalty yardage back on, or the fumble yardage back on that play. 10.5 remaining in the third. We are just underway third quarter. Joe back in a natural drop. Now he's going over the top with this one. Jalen, it's a jump ball and in and out of his hands. And Jalen Johnson, Coach, you won't get a jump ball much better than that one. And that's the one that you think Jalen goes up and gets. They call that a 50-50 ball. Jalen's supposed to go up and have that one.
Yeah, well, Jalen had his man beat by a good 2 yards that time. If Joe could have just put just a little bit more under it, he could have caught it in stride. That would have been a 6. But there's a lot of ifs. That if's a big old word sometimes.
Indeed, it is 4th down and 10 from the 42-yard line. Joe back to snap. Gets this one a good high kick. Hammers this one back. Punt is called for and made on the fair catch to the 20-yard line. And, look, I'm very impressed with the leg of Joe Bordelon back there as a punter.
Yeah, that's something I hadn't really expected. Joe, hadn't kicked a whole lot, and he put that one down there 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, almost 40-yard punt. That's pretty darn good in high school, especially in the conditions.
10-16, Trojans unable to capitalize. They scored a couple towards the end, had a chance to punch it in at the end, and unable to get things going and then come out and end up dry on this first possession. But here comes that defense again, stopping Caesar, who wanted to keep it himself. And Caesar got hit high and low that time on the tackle, but hops right back up.
Yeah, I was, like I said, I listened to the Carencro guys at the halftime there, and they were talking about Caesar's carried the ball like 16 times, and that's probably the other running backs maybe a total of 4 or 5 times for the rest of them. The rest of them, it's been all Caesar.
Reminds me a lot of that Faraday game 2 or 3 years back when their quarterback just continued to do work. Handoff there is made now, trying to get to the right side, and that's going to be a big first down for the Golden Bears.
They've got good speed there. That's the first time that they gave him the ball on just a sweep almost with a lead blocker.
9:33 to go in the third quarter. 21-14 in this one. Carencro scored the game's first 3 touchdowns and took a 21-0 lead. Trojans came back with a couple of touchdowns late in the first and early in the second. And now Carencro looking to march down the field. High snap, bobbled around. That'll mess up the timing, and that'll get that big interior line in there for a sack. And this offense, Coach, for the Bears works a lot off of timing, and when it gets disrupted, as a lot of offenses do, but when your quarterback is doing that little fake and then run, man, timing is crucial.
Right, and that's all part of the Bear. It's a read, supposedly a read offense, and where he reads what the defense is doing, but when, like I say, when you get a bad snap or something like that, it messes the whole scheme up.
2nd and 12 now for the Golden Bears from their own 34-yard line. Handoff goes up the middle. Now trying to get to the outside. There he does. Breaking to the outside to the 40. Now 30. Got to make a move and brought down. But just, I mean, the Trojans were giving up everything, or were putting everything to the inside. And goodness, busted to the outside there for a big one.
That's some of it. Looks like some of the change. They've gone away from the veer and gone to the power sweeps and either the quarterback or the running backs and getting outside on the Trojans there.
You know, just punch and counter punch in this one. Momentum switching back. It is squarely on the shoulders of Carencro right now as they look to increase this back to a 2-score lead.
They look at the shotgun, look for the quarterback on a draw or keeper here.
Caesar has ran from here a lot and does. It's just a direct run as he is hit after a gain of about 5 on the play.
A little activity after the whistle over there on between the two. I can't make out the numbers, but then no flag thrown that time.
Gave him 5 yards on it. 2nd down now and 5.
I was asking the Carencro radio guys. They said that Caesar about 215, 220. He's every bit of that.
Indeed, he is. 2nd down and 5 from the 15. Maybe the 16, I guess. Handoff goes up the middle and just grinding along. And that interior line of Carencro back to where they were on that first couple of offensive series, is just grinding. And, Coach, you said it, just making some changes because it's not the same offense we saw in the first half.
Yeah, that was just a straight dive, base blocking by the offensive line, a hat on hat.
Big, heavy offensive line. Handoff goes right up the middle once again. And picking up maybe a couple on it, gets inside the 4, and there's a little penalty flag towards the end of it. And Carencro has been pushing around a lot. We'll see who they call that on. If that's on Carencro, Coach, that's a big mistake, because that'll push them back 15 yards. And we'll see what's going on. They do dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. Oh, they called it offsetting. Goodness gracious, bailed out on that one.
Must be some smack talking going on down there, probably by both guys. And
well, you've seen a lot of blocking until a few seconds after the whistle on both sides of it. 2nd down and goal from inside the 5. The ball sits on the 4 of the Trojans. Carencro looking to punch this in and get it back to a 2-score lead after the Trojans had put together a couple of touchdowns to get it back to where we sit now at 21-14.
Watch the sweep here with if they go split backs, I look for the sweep to the wide side of the field there.
Having success just pounding the ball up the middle on this drive, and may have the Trojans focusing on the inside. Ball hits the ground. Caesar picks it up and gets into the end zone once again. And that's another Golden Bears touchdown right there. Caesar, ball hits the ground. He was able to pick it up and get into the end zone with it. Just good luck, good timing, and being in the right spot for the Carencro quarterback. And it's a touchdown for the Golden Bears.
Yeah, that'd be a combination of the center getting off the ball as quick as he can, or either that or the quarterback's pulling out from under the center. But I think it's probably the first one. The center's firing off so quickly that he's leaving the quarterback's hands a little bit, and that's the reason he was able to pick it up, because the offensive line had done moved the defense back 3 yards.
Swinging gate closes shut. They settle into the normal PAT attempt. Doucette's kick is up, and it is good. 28-14. Carencro back with a 2-touchdown lead, now doubling up the Trojans. 28-14. We'll be back right after this.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by 2 walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
We are back to J.L. Butch Stoker Stadium, and the Trojans had everything they wanted coming out of the half, had the momentum, had the football, but got stopped, kicked it away to Carencro, and Carencro right down the field on a couple of big plays. About a 4-minute drive on that one, and this is where they get dangerous, like that Acadiana that we've seen, like we've seen the West Monroes. They're just able to grind that clock, and it's difficult to come back on a team like this. The Trojans have already scored 14 in a row. They're going to need to do it again here to tie this thing up. High sky kick once again. Did not fair catch this one. It's gloved off to the left side, now all the way out to the 38-yard line, and that's where the Trojans will have it.
Kicking team kind of thought that they was going to fair catch it, and they kind of coasted down the field, and he was able to pick up good field position, 40. Kind of surprised that the Trojans came out and tried to throw it all 4 times when they have pretty much abandoned the running game. But
and Datlin's been so solid when he's been back in there running the football. Winfield on top of Pineville, 26-0 in that one up the road in Winfield. Here the Trojans find themselves down 2 touchdowns. Have really got to get back into it. Pass it, or motion to the near side is Cunningham. Joe's alone in the backfield. Snaps this one out to Datlin, but sells that one high. And, Coach, that's what we talked about. We saw a lot of from Bordelon and didn't see much of it in last game, but has sold the ball 2 or 3 times tonight.
Yeah, he's not following through. It's just like a pitcher when,
Short arming the ball.
Short arming, yeah. And the ball's sailing on him. And especially when you throw the flats, you got to continue the throw because that's the reason they call it the flats.
Cunningham gets it this time, but they are all on top of that are the Bears, and that's a loss of 5 for Datlin Cunningham. And the Trojans just have really been unable to do anything in this second half.
Carencro's made some adjustments, and it's obvious that they've got the best of the Trojans here in the start of the second half. And like you said, they're controlling the tempo of the game at 7 minutes left to go in this third quarter. Trojans is putting pressure on. They have to throw the ball every time. And
dead ball unsportsmanlike. It's going to offset again. And look, that's
they're going to keep on till somebody gets chunked here in a minute, I think.
Yeah, because they still write down who had the penalty, even though it offsets. That still is a personal foul, an unsportsmanlike conduct in 2 of those, and you're ejected. 7:01, 3rd down and 13 in this one, back to the 35-yard line. They've got to get out near midfield to the 48.
Quick slant would be open to the inside guy. The safety's playing back almost 15 yards, 12 yards for sure.
3 receivers to the near side, lone receiver to the top near the sticks. Joe bringing a man in motion now. He's got 2 to each side. Joe looking back, trying to go over the top. Got a man open, unable to connect, and Joe missed on that one.
He's not stepping and throwing. I'm watching him. His front foot, he's just kind of throwing, standing still and not really stepping into the throw.
Wide open on that one, as it just had, when he brings the man in motion, it set up a great play and had the mismatch that they wanted. And now Joe back to punt for the 2nd time in this half in consecutive possessions.
If Carencro gets a ball, you can bet they're going to run it run it, and run it.
Snap back to Joe. He gets a good one. If that hits, it's going to roll. Bounces around, ball on the ground, but Carencro is going to have it at the 29-yard line. And that's the kind of kick that makes it difficult to return as it's spinning end over end.
Well, defense is going to have to step up here and get a stop pretty quick. Otherwise, I'm pretty much sure we're going to see nothing but run out of Carencro. If they throw it, I would be shocked.
You know, Carencro, when they got their second touchdown of the game, it was after that big, impressive run, and they ran that wheel out of the backfield, and the guy was wide open. Got to be careful that they don't fake something and try to get the big, quick hitter here at 28-14. 6:49 remaining in the third. Handoff goes up the middle and driven down. 6:43. Don't think that'll quite get us to the 6 minutes. It depends. Carencro will be able to take it all the way down to the 6-minute hydration timeout if they want to.
Yeah, they've gone to a straight dive. They're not veer blocking it anymore. I think they're just base blocking man on man and just the straight dives or the quarterback keep.
Just about a quarter of a second between the play clock and the game clock as it gets to that 6-minute mark. Down to 16 and 15 on the play clock. Looks like Carencro will snap it. They do. Back to pass is Caesar. He's having to roll around. He's going to have to chunk that one away, and very wise getting out of the tackle box and getting it up to the line of scrimmage to avoid a grounding, and that's going to be the 6-minute mark. We'll see if they do take it here.
That's one of the rule changes where they don't get intentional grounding on that because there's definitely nobody in the area. He just threw that one away.
6-minute hydration timeout. We'll take it with them. Trojans need a stop on third and out. Can they do it? We'll find out when we come back. You're watching Ash Trojan Football on 446 Sports.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791.
Cutting that one short. And now back to live action we go. It is third down and long for Carencro. Trojans have got to get a stop right here and get that ball back. Caesar's going to keep it himself, going to find nothing up the middle, as that is just a great job again by the interior line.
If you're the Ash defense, I would be really willing to bet my house that when it comes down to a pressure situation, who's going to get the ball, there ain't no doubt. So I'd be keying on him, and that could give it to the running back. He could probably score with no untouched.
Trojans got the ball deep on a snap that was low just at about this same area. Washington back deep to receive. He stands at his 43-yard line, so not deep. Not expecting a big long punch. You just got to be really careful on a short one like that. Snap is back. It's bobbled around. Gets it out of there. End over end. Washington's got it, and he is hammered as soon as he picks it up. And just great coverage on that punt, but an even greater job of Washington to be able to hang on to it in the face of that.
Yeah, and you know, if it hits the ground, it probably rolls another 10 or 15 yards. So, at least they got decent field position. I'd like to see them go back to run the ball a little bit here in first down because they've just practically abandoned the running game altogether.
I think we've seen one run here in the second half, and Cunningham was swallowed up in the backfield on that for a loss. Two receivers to the top, H-back to the near side. Cunningham's going to follow Harrington, the H-back, and there's a seam, and that will get Cunningham down for a first down. It looks like they do give him the first, give him a 10.5, officially 11 on the play, and you got a Golden Bear down on the ground.
Number 13 looks like might have got an ankle.
19 is the Golden Bear that's down.
19. Your eyes are better than mine.
I got 2 of them on. I got some extras. And look, Datlin did a good job. So they've gotten heavy on the right side. They brought Harrington there as an H-back as well, and so had a little bit of extra blocking there, and were able to run Cunningham out. And look, if he can get into that seam, he still can go.
Yeah, he's got some speed, and like I say, I know Bachman loves the passing game, and that's their forte. But you got to run some to keep them honest, and I think he can break it and be a game breaker.
Had 3 touchdowns in the Jamboree, did Datlin Cunningham. Conditioning starting to bring its head into this one. Coach down another player with cramps, and when you get this heat and you get that humidity, that's when you start seeing those cramps.
Right, and as the game wears on, that tends to happen, especially early in the season. That's the reason you give the hydration timeouts, is to give those guys a chance to recover.
Block has scored a couple of touchdowns. They trail 27-12 to Buckeye over on our sister broadcast there. Scott Mills back in the booth calling that one. That one is brought to you by BK Distributors over there. And they're going to continue working on the cramps. Coach, again, this is the part where you started to flex a little muscle in that first half. Carencro came out and they showed some intensity, but conditioning and endurance and resiliency is this is about where the momentum changed in the first half.
Right. You got to mix up the offense a little bit. In the first 2 series, the Trojans came back out and chunk, and like I say, I realize that's their game, but in the conditions, you got a good running back there. Give him the ball, mix it up a little bit better.
Brutal schedule for the Trojans starts right here in week 1 against a very, very tough Carencro Golden Bears team. They have the lead 28-14 with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. They're slowly walking number 19 off, and those cramps, when it gets in both legs like it did on that young man, that's a tough walk across the field, but he was able to go off on his own, so good to see that. Bordelon, handoff to the near side. Cunningham trying to get to the corner is going to be knocked out of bounds.
Had a situation there where one of the Trojans blocked another Trojan and kind of plugged up the hole and still managed to pick up a couple of yards on it.
Datlin coming off. Now you'll see JT Lindsay in there at running back. Harrington to the near side there, and almost looks like Chris Clark is in there. No, that's not, because they've switched numbers. Snap is back. Handoff goes up the middle. And getting out, that's JT Lindsay, the sophomore, in there carrying the football.
That was a little high snap, but it still managed to pick up nice yardage on there. Still third down and about 3 yards to go for a first down. I'd like to see them continue to run the ball, and I'd give them 2 running plays here to pick up the first.
Ain't no doubt about that. One thing different is not quite the tempo from a couple of years, the last 2 or 3 years, but Trojans effective when they run the football and have tonight. Just got to continue to do that and wear this Golden Bear team down if they can. A lot of space to the far side. They come back to the near side. There goes Lindsay. No, correction. That is Mingo. Mingo on the carry on the receiver. I guess Mingo had dropped back into the backfield with Bordelon and Lindsay and gets the ball off to the left side. So that's what you wanted to see. Now Jalen Johnson is coming off. And they get Datlin back in the game. Cunningham continuing, and it looks like this Trojan offense, as best you will, is solid when they're able to put together 4, 5, 6 possession or play drive. Here comes Mingo back in motion. Now you got 2 backs in there. The play action this time. Joe's got to get rid of it and does. Pass is in and out of the hands. Goodness gracious, the corner route was there and just unable to connect, and not sure the passing numbers for Joe tonight, but they not certainly solid numbers.
No, he's been a little bit off tonight. He's just a tad high on some of them, and of course you think with a wet ball receivers haven't been real wide open, but there's some plays that should have been made. Now you put yourself behind the 8 ball. You got a 2nd and long.
Washington's a receiver to the near side. Bring him in motion and sweep around. And here comes Washington in motion. Now he goes around the back, so no sweep. Back to passes. Joe, the wheel route again is complete to Gatlin out of the backfield, down to the 12-yard line. And that's one of those passes that the timing was there on. He catches Cunningham right out of the backfield and runs that wheel route that we've come to see so many times tonight.
Right. Little play action away from it, motion, and a little eye candy making him look to the left side, and he comes back to the right with a little wheel rack. We got a holding on the defense.
They'll decline that one, take the result of the play. 3:37 remaining third quarter, and the Trojans easily with their best drive of the second half.
They tacked it on top of the play. That's
may have been a face mask at the end rather than a hold.
Yeah.
Then you don't see the hold get added on to the end of it. 6-yard line, first down and goal for the Trojans. Correction, give it the 5. And you got to think a steady diet of Cunningham behind Harrington on that left side. High snap, but corralled. Cunningham's got it, shifting around to the inside, down to the 1.
It's going to be a half-yard short, looks like. I kind of wonder what Joe was doing there. He did the
JT Lindsay was the ball carrier on that one. Now Cunningham returns. A lot of room to the top. And right up the middle goes Cunningham. And they mark him inside the 1, just shy of the goal line. This is one of those, and I know, Coach, you don't practice it ever, but get Joe under center and just have him follow his center into the end zone. This is what's tough about being a shotgun team.
Yeah, and plus you don't have that lead back. Now you got the H back in the backfield right there. He could act as a lead back.
This is where Caesar is dangerous when he gets up under center. They bring Mingo in motion. Cunningham's got it, spinning around, and he bangs his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Gatlin. Cunningham, touchdown, Trojans.
And most of that was brought by the running game that time, like I say.
The one big one, the wheel route that got the first down when they needed. But you're right, Coach, going back to that running game.
And still got plenty of time to go in the whole fourth quarter and 2 minutes and 35 seconds in this quarter. So if defense can come up with a stop right here, Trojans are not out of this by a long shot.
This is where the kicking game has got to be there. Rolls that one in there. Good job on the hold. It bangs it off the upright, and it's no good. And that one was doomed from the snap as it rolled back in there. Still a one-score game, but it's 8 points is the deficit. 28-20. Trojans answer the touchdown. What's the defense got in them? We'll see when we come back. 2:35 remain in the third quarter. Carencro 28, Trojans 20 on 446 Sports.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
And we are back here, 28-20. That's what it says up on the Wallace Eye Associates scoreboard. A big thanks out to the folks at Wallace Eye Associates. We couldn't do any of this without our sponsors. Approaching this, now the kickoff is there. And that one of the better kicks gets it inside the 10-yard line. Good to see that. Here comes that kick return team and a big-time play inside the 24. So that's at my count, that's a slobber knocker apiece, Coach.
No, that's right. One for the Trojans and one for Carencro.
2:31 to go, third quarter of play on what was a rainy night. Looks like the rain has mostly stopped out there as you see the umbrellas put away. And we'll see what the Trojans are able to do. The 25-yard line is where Carencro will take over. And you're right, Coach, that defense has got to stand up one more time.
Yeah, look for the sweep here. They're going to go outside. I got a feeling try to get the tailback on a lead.
They had their success at that on one big play, but a penalty brought it back on their last drive. Caesar keeps it, tries to go up the middle, and he is submarined there. And that's the way to get to him, is go after his ankles.
Yeah, I know one thing. He'll rest tonight because he's carried the ball, I know, at least 20, 25 times.
So goes Carencro. So goes Caesar on this one. And look, you'll continue just to bleed that clock. Just a big night for Caesar, 102 yards, 3 touchdowns, and has been all the offense for Carencro. Had the big pass that got him set up, hands that one off. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 3. The Trojans have an opportunity to get Carencro off the field. Going to need a 3rd down and short stop right here.
And you can bet on, I bet my last paycheck on the fact of who's going to get it right here.
You don't think he's going to give it to anyone, do you?
Nope. I think the lead back's going to lead him, and he's going to go around the end here. Let's see.
Good tight coverage on the wideouts. Handoff goes up the middle, and that's going to be a 1st down. So you lost.
Dang.
You lost that one, but that's
paycheck.
okay.
I lost my paycheck. Of course, I still haven't seen that paycheck yet.
It's game 1, Coach.
Oh, shoot.
Pay like your limo group, and I'll just I'll cook you some brisket this weekend.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'd have to get it on the run because I'll be on the road again.
Goodness, back and driving again, huh?
Yeah.
1st down and 10 for the Bears from their 37-yard line, 1:19 to go, 3rd quarter of play. 2 receivers to the near side, nobody at the top. Watch for them try to sprint that run out perhaps to the top side. It's wide open over there. Handoff goes up to the middle. There's a break up the middle, and that's a big 1st down. And, man, back to that dive, Coach.
Yeah, that was a true veer block that time. Everybody blocked down, and he just caught a seam that time and picked up a big 1st down as they continue to burn the clock with about 55 seconds left to go in this 3rd quarter.
Remind me a lot of an MMA fighter just getting on you and choking you out and getting every bit of air out of you they can as they choke the clock down. 43 and 42 to go in the 3rd period.
And when you're a running team and you got the lead, that's exactly what you want to do, is just continue to do what you do well.
Caesar hands it off once again up the middle, but hit at the line of scrimmage and driven back.
The defense has got to step up here and get a stop. Can't afford to give them another touchdown. With
they give Batiste a yard on it, 2nd down and 9, and they're going to flip ends of the field as that's going to grind out the remaining 18 seconds of the 3rd quarter. Going to take a break here as we go to the final stanza in this one. It is Carencro 28, your Ash Trojans 20. And Carencro on the move once again. We'll be back. You're watching Ash Trojan Football on 446 Sports.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
Carencro 28, Alexandria 20. As we get ready for the final frame in this one. Carencro following that 1-yard pickup have it 2nd down and 9 from the Trojan 45-yard line. Trojans cannot give up another score. They're already down by a touchdown and a 2-point conversion following that missed extra point moments ago.
Somebody's asked me how to pick up the game, and I'm not too technical.
Go to 446 Sports on you. Search 446 Sports on YouTube, and you'll find it there. 446 SPORTS, and you'll find it. Or they can go to 446 Sports on our Facebook page and click the link. Tell all your friends about that. Share it if you're watching it. This has turned into a good one. 2nd down and 8. Give him officially 2 on that 1st down carry. Handoff once again right up the middle and banging around for a pickup of 4.
They were bringing the linebackers that time, and their offensive line came off the ball and met them in the mouth. Still picked up, 3 yards on that one?
Yep, 3rd down and a long 4. Ball is at the 41-yard line of the Trojans. Again, you got to think that Carencro, I don't know if they may pin them, but the way they run the ball, I think you try to get confidence to get 4 yards on 2 carries. Handoff goes to the far side. They're going to get it on 1 carry, and that's going to be a first down for Carencro, and they're able to drain a little more clock and get closer to the end zone. And another score here, Coach, would certainly not put you out of it, but it'd put you behind the 8 ball just a little bit.
Absolutely. You can see on the video there that they pulled the backside, gave them an extra blocker at the point of attack, and they was able to pick up the first down. Still got a little fuzzy on the screen there from
from that last little bit of rain that's out there and the humidity and all of it, or running that clock down. The play clock sits at 40, but the game clock continues to run. They're working on that, and now they'll run things. Getting it down to 10:47, and they'll start it now 17 and 16 on the play clock.
Yeah. Carencro's not in a hurry to snap the ball.
Once again, right up the middle. Trojans meet that one, but still a couple of yards picked up there, 2nd down and 8. And every first down, Coach, allows them to burn off another 2.5 to 3 minutes.
Right. Got to give credit to the Carencro offensive line. Hadn't talked a whole lot about it, but they're doing a good job. They're standing the Trojan defense up right now.
Wow, they'll mark that forward progress all the way down 5 yards, down to the 31, and getting deep into Trojan territory.
Yeah. Defensive front's got to stay a lot lower here because they're definitely coming off the ball, and if you get up high, they're gonna roll you out of there.
Back under center with the veer, handoff up the middle, and a big hole there, and another first down for the Golden Bears. And Coach, it's just fresh back after fresh back coming in there, and then here comes Caesar to have another big one. So another first down, another opportunity to roll a couple of minutes off of there as the ball is getting close to that Valex Federal Credit Union red zone.
Yeah, the Trojans, when they do get the ball, they're going to have to crank up the NASCAR offense here because they're not going to have a whole lot of time left because they're chewing the clock up down to 9:34 and counting.
First down and 10 from the 24-yard line of the Trojans. Go the Golden Bears. Inside handoff, and you're chewing up 2-3 yards every single time. And you put 2 or 3 yards together, Coach, and it just gets you close to that first down.
All right, that's old school football. 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and you get
a pack
3
of
plays.
mud or something.
Yeah, got 9 yards, and then on that 4th down, you pick up 1, you got another first down. So that's pretty much what they're doing here.
9 minutes even to go here in the 4th. 2nd down and 6. They gave them 4 on that previous play, down inside the 20 to the 19. Ducking down and getting under center. Stumbles a little bit coming out of there, and that's that timing that we talked about. Bobbled around in a big time play, but a lot of work to do. 3rd down now and 9. Trojans can ill afford any type of points from Carencro.
Yeah, they pulled the backside tackle or guard that time, and like I say, the bobble kind of messed up the timing on the deal, and the Trojans were able to get penetration because it's make it 3rd and long down. I still don't think they're going to throw the ball. They're going to come back to the run. Probably Caesar this time, I would think.
3rd down and 8. He's running, coming out to throw the ball, and does in and out of the hands. Had it set up perfectly. That's the big tight end that caught the touchdown pass earlier.
Yeah, when you don't throw the ball that often and then you do, I think the receivers were about as shocked as anybody if they didn't. And they just didn't make the play, but he was, like you say, wide open.
2 things that sets up for the Trojans. It stops the clock, and it puts Carencro at 4th down.
They're going to go for it here. Look for the quarterback keeper on a bootleg, I hear, with a run or pass option, I would think.
And no matter what, Trojans going to have a long way to go if they get the stop here. Back to the veer they go, and offsides on the encroachment is the call, is what we believe, and it is encroachment. And now you go from 4th and 8 to 4th and 3. And goodness gracious, that's not what you needed.
That's a mental mistake that I didn't catch the number on who did it, but either way, it puts you behind the 8 ball. It gives them only 3 yards to make here.
Encroachment marked off against the Trojans. That'll make it 4th down and 3 now from the 16-yard line. Almost think they may be in field goal range, but Caesar and that offense stays out there, and why not? With only 3 yards to go, they bring a man in motion, trying to perhaps get the Trojans to jump off again. Caesar looks over, and at that time he's trying to draw him off, and that's good. Yeah, they were trying to draw him off on a couple of straight plays there, and when he snapped up real quick to look over at the table, that's a tough one to lay off on, and they did a good job with that. 8:03 remaining in this one, and the Trojans are facing a 4th down and 3 stop as Carencro gets ready to go, Coach. And stop would help you with momentum, but you got to get a long touchdown if you get the stop here. You got a lot of time to go and the 2-point conversion though, so you just got to give yourself a chance.
Yeah, Joe's got to be on the money. You know, I'd say early in this last quarter he was been a little bit off, and they came back and ran the ball and was able to get a score, but he's going to have to come back and be able to throw the ball here on the money for the Trojans to get back in it, because they got less than 8 minutes to go in the game. And it depends on here whether they pick up the 1st down or not.
Back to work, and don't think they may not try to draw them off again. 4th down and 3.
Shifting to the unbalanced again to the strong right side of the formation.
Caesar under center, gets his team down. Now goes off. Good job on the defense, and they're going to stop him short of the line to gain. And it depends on where the measure or where it's at. No, they're marking it over. Well, that extra progress
one of them left
there.
foot, right split spots.
Oh, they moved it back a little bit too. So
it's got to have some home cooking on this one.
They're going to measure, but it looks like.
Tell you what, the last spot was slightly more favorable for Carencro.
Goodness.
I think it's short, but boy, it's closer.
It's the case of the right foot, right foot again.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get a measurement here.
Who's got the momentum coming out of this? It all is determined by this measurement.
We'll have to get a credit card out to check this one, but the spot looks like it's going to be
The
awfully
defense is staying out there. And stretch it out.
They're stretching it out. These Trojans,
and the Trojans are coming off the field. Oh, he turns around and marks the 1st down. And the defense has already come off the field. You got Josh Marie on the sideline. Coach Bachman is over there tearing him. You got to get back onto the field. And goodness gracious. And you got to get Marie back on the right side of the football.
Can't accuse of a home cooking on that one now, Gona.
Goodness gracious. And now Marie comes off to the side again.
he was about ready to cut a bat flip on this near sideline, but he needs to play some defense.
Goodness, Marie now off of the play as Coach Mercer got another cornerback into the field. And well, he looked at it and was coming off the field, thought there was a stop, but Carencro has it and an opportunity to run off a lot more clock, as now you're down at 7 and 6 on the play clock.
Gonna call a timeout here, and they're running as much clock as they can down to 7:33. Trojans be lucky to get the ball back with maybe 5 minutes to go if they 2 and 3 yards a pop here.
We need them to go to the video replay of that, and we'll see if we can. Wow, goodness gracious, 7:33 remaining, and
that's when we needed a camera on the sideline here.
Live, I didn't think you got there.
Well,
my man Chuck has the instant replay capabilities, but I don't know that he's got it set up there.
Carencro admitted that they didn't think they had it for a 1st down, the announcers up here, but at any rate, it is a 1st down.
Look, I'm telling you, that's a tough one. And what's left out of all of this is it was just a great run finished off by Caesar, that big quarterback for Carencro, 7:51.
You got to say that hopefully nothing happens to him, because he is about 90% of their offense.
To say the least.
Just moved it back. It still says first down.
Okay. First down.
And now they push the ball.
Make 8 minutes in 1 second. You want 10 more? That's fine. First down.
Oh, mercy, what a ball game. It's week 1. How are we going to top things as we move on through this season? It's going to be an interesting 2022, and you'll be able to watch all of it right here week by week on 446 Sports. Glad to have you here, Doug Gann, alongside of Ernie Lott, bringing you Ash Trojan football. Caesar calls for it and handoff right up the middle. Couple of yards, and that clock will run tick, 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 tick.
Got to say that, you know, PowerPoint-wise, I'm sure Carencro, hadn't seen their schedule, but I guarantee you they're going to go to 8-2, 9-1, maybe even 10-0. So that's going to bode well for the Trojans.
Things don't get much better though next week as the Trojans head down to Lafayette to face St. Thomas More in a game that St. Thomas More, you know, is going to want to get a little revenge in from last year's game. 7:02, down under 7 minutes before this one will be snapped as there are 10 seconds remaining on the play clock. 2nd down and 8 following the 2-yard pickup. Snap is there up the middle and falls forward for a couple, and that will bring up 3rd down and continue to melt precious time off of that clock at 6.5. And Coach, the Trojans cannot give up any type of points here. They're down by 8.
Yeah, that was a good ankle tackle there. Otherwise, he might have scored because I didn't see anybody really put a lick on him. He just kind of tripped and fell.
3rd down and 5. From the 7-yard line, it looks like. Can get a first without getting into the end zone. Perhaps from the 8, if you will. 6-12 and counting. Back under center. Caesar's going to keep it himself.
That's a quarterback
and
one
gets
wham call there.
Past the sticks, and it's going to be 1st and goal inside the 3-yard line. And
yeah, that was like a lead block with the running back, and the quarterback just followed.
Yeah, step back, let your running back in there. The 6-minute timeout is upon us. Half gone and half to go here in the 4th. And the Trojans have got to find a way to keep Carencro off the scoreboard at all in this one. Coach, man, what a second half that it's been. It's just been one of those. Back before the Trojans had an opportunity. Carencro, just a couple of one touchdown from each team in this second half. And goodness gracious, what a ball game this one's been.
Yeah, it's a slugfest, and the advantage goes to Carencro because of the fact that they have burnt probably 3/4 of the clock in this second half. The Trojans scored, and not going to get maybe one more opportunity to have the offensive ball on offense unless they can get a turnover or something right here.
Big congratulations out to Ben McLaughlin and that Buckeye team as they start off the Coach McLaughlin era at 1-0. They pick up the 27-12 victory over Block in the home opener over there in Buckeye as well. So congratulations. Buckeye football brought to you all season long by BK Distributors. 5:59 remaining in the ball game. Carencro up 28-20, and on the doorsteps, Trojans are going to have to get a lot going and keep Carencro out of the end zone. They do not. 1st down, touchdown run by Carencro, and Trojans need to find a way, Coach, here to block this extra point to keep them out so that you're not having to dig and go for 2.
That was a nice job. Got to give credit to the offensive line for Carencro that time. They just blew the Trojans off the ball and was able to get in for the score.
Lining up, ready to try for point. Trying to get it back to a 15-point lead. Snap is perfect. It is there. It is up, and it is good. 35-20. We'll take a break. 5:55 remaining. Trojans with a lot of work to do. We'll see what happens when we come back. You're watching Ash Trojan football on 446 Sports.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by 2 walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Lock On.
Walk-Ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
And we are back. Trojans down 15 in the fourth quarter, but I've seen them come back just a couple of years ago against a tough Acadiana team that does the same thing. You all remember how that game went down in the fourth quarter. A lot of big things happened. We've got 6 minutes, so we've got some good time here. Trojans have their full complements of timeouts, but they need something big to happen for them on this drive to get things going.
We'll have to have a good mix of run and pass, mostly pass, but Joe's got to be on the money and the receiver's got to make the play. And that's all part of it. You got to make plays.
High sky kick over to the near side again. Retrieved in at the 25-yard line to the 30, now to the outside 35-40. Down the sideline to the 45-yard line. And good field position for the Trojans to get this drive started. How about a one-play touchdown drive here? Give the ball to Cunningham and let him get to the house.
Yeah, and you know that they're going to be backing off the receivers here, and there'd be a chance that they could pop one here.
Cunningham walks out there. He's got Bordelon at quarterback where he's been the last season, and into today the senior left-hander looking solid throughout most of the time. Has left a couple of balls high. Now's the time to settle in and get this thing going. Boy, Carencro had to run somebody off the field as they had 12 men down to 9 and 8 and 7 on the play clock. Joe staring at it at 5. Now he's got to get something going. Snaps this one back to pass is Joe. Joe zips this one out to the near side where he is hit and hammered by number 19, and that's the young man that we saw go out earlier, Coach, with the cramps.
Yeah, they got basically Carencro's in a 3-man front, and they're dropping 8 in coverage. Linebackers have backed out. Secondary is giving them plenty of room, so they're going to have to hit something on a quick run route.
That says you can't throw a little hook and lateral at them right now.
Or the back out of the backfield, possibly.
Right, Bachman signaling in the plays that were given to him from Coach Donahue. Back to pass is Bordelon. He's looking. Covered up, got it, just lowers his shoulder, and now gets down the sideline, does Joe. He's going to get inside the 50, and that's such a big, aggressive run from the senior quarterback.
Yeah, Joe's a big old boy now. He put a lick on that guy right there. That might be a slobber knocker.
They're gonna say that he stepped out at the 47, so they only give him a couple of yard gain on that. And Carencro just dropping back in coverage. You almost got to toss the ball out to Cunningham, and those defenders are going to run back with the receivers. Let Datlin get out there in space to the top. 5:06 and counting.
Yeah, it looks like they're bringing, yep.
And back to pass again is Joe. He's getting pressured. He's going to be bottled up back in the back. And
good coverage by Carencro. You got to give him credit there. I'd like to see a crossing route, though. Everything was straight up the field that time.
Dejon Williams comes in, and now the Trojans cannot kick it away. This is going to be pretty much the ball game here at 4th down and 15. And if you're Carencro, you just don't let them get behind you. Take the penalty if you have to. And take you a pass interference, yeah. Trojans need a little bit of a bounce here or something to happen. How about a hook? Yeah, we talked about some sort of trickeration, but it's 4th down. You've got to get. Timeout has been called by the Trojans. We'll keep it right here, and you hate using
25-second clock.
Oh, it was running out on them. Absolutely, it was. You cannot use that timeout right there, but had to do it. 4:12 remaining in this one. Trojans facing a 4th and 15. Just under the gun, down 15 points in here. Have to score a couple of times and get a 2-point conversion along the way just to tie this thing up. But, you know, the Trojans are getting battle tested here, Coach, from the get-go in it. getting some power points like you talked about, but nobody really knows what the playoffs are going to look like because they're still going to vote again on the select and non-select. So, but a lot of work before we even think about those. But the competition level is certainly solid in this non-district slate for the Trojans.
Yeah, Carencro stepping up into 5A, and they've definitely proved that they've got a quality football team. They lost a lot of guys last year and got some young guys playing, but they've stepped up tonight, and they do what they do well.
Boy, the safeties are 15 yards off the ball. Now they creep up a little bit. Coverage is soft, but ready to go. High snap. Good pressure from the front three. Zips that one down and almost intercepted as neither receiver, coach, was looking for the football. Not one of the receivers that were in the area were looking for the football, and that's just a tough one. And you know that Carencro is going to come out here and just grind on it. Got to have something big happen.
Yeah, not the best throwing performance by Joe in this game, and of course a couple of receivers had some drop balls that should have been caught. Just not a terrible game for the Trojans, but still not one of their better games.
4:08 remaining, and you cannot give up a first down. If you give a first down, you virtually give yourself no time because they're going to continue to chew clock with just 2 timeouts remaining. Handout goes to the back, pickup of a couple.
Once again, they pull the lineman, and they add an extra blocker on the play side, and pick up, about 2 yards on there. They'll be satisfied to pick up 2 and 3 yards of play and run the clock down. A turnover wouldn't hurt either right here.
Tough way to start this one out. And you know, Coach Bachman talked about it on the show last night, and we talked about it earlier today as well, is your talent level that you're playing against is elevated, but that's what these kids want to do. They want to come out here and go best on best, and Carencro showing as Caesar goes, they're going to have a pretty solid season, but their defense has been there as well.
He's going to lead the clock down to
3:41 and counting with 10 seconds on the play clock. So they'll snap it with about 3.5 to go. Ash's defense there is able to make a stop right at the line of scrimmage.
They're trying to pull the ball out, but the running back doing a good job of hanging on to it there.
That's what you tell them if you're that offensive coach. Hang on to the football.
Right. One guy stands him up, and defense trying to pull it out, but to his credit, he hung on to it.
Trojans have to have a stop, a touchdown, an onside kick, and a touchdown, and we'll be right back in this one.
Yeah, they're milking the clock. They're going to run it down to probably 3 or 4 or 5 seconds on the play clock before they snap it. And
down under 10 again at 2:58 on the game clock and 7 on the play clock. 3rd down and 6 from the Trojan 36-yard line. Caesar's going to keep it himself and roll around, and that'll bring up 4th down. You see if the Trojans think about taking that timeout, and they do. Bachman trying to save as much time as he can. Just back in this situation, you know, Coach, you go back when it was 28-20, and the Trojans had them at 4th and 8. Draw him off sides. Do the Trojans get drawn off sides? 4th and 3, and then Caesar gets it by about a link of the chain. And so what a difference that offside penalty makes. Just one of those, nothing has went the way for the Trojans tonight. Looking down on the sideline, you see Gary Matthews, one of the linebackers for the Trojans, still in that walking boot. Hope to have him back in a week or so.
Yeah, injuries. Well, they had a couple of guys go down with ankles, and of course that's not the difference. You got to give credit to
Well, Gary's been out for a while. I'm just looking around and saying, yeah, he is yet to suit up for the Trojans this season. 4th down and a long 4, short 5, if you will, back inside the nose of the football, just off of the 34-yard line.
Caesar on a keeper here.
Oh, beautiful play. That one, there's a little hold, and it's come, Doesn't matter. It's all going to come back, as that hold was the only thing that strung him out. That's the one, Coach, that you need to get behind him, because that would have made things interesting if it drops to the ground. And now that hold, that penalty will be marked off from the spot of the foul.
If the white hat didn't make the call there, the side judge didn't see it. Of course, he was going downfield with the receiver, but that was a good call, no doubt about it. I mean, if you can see it on the replay or the film, he was practically tackling the guy out there. But that's still.
But at that point, you do it, and you see if you're able to get if you don't get it called, then it never happened.
Right.
And it would have resulted in a big play. But now it is 4th down, and
still think
Caesar in the shotgun, but he could quick kick it from here too. Yeah, they'll get a timeout in it. Final up in Winfield. Winfield 33, Pineville 6. Winfield 33, Pineville 6 in that one. So Buckeye picks up the win tonight. Menard with a loss last night. And the Trojans have a whole lot of work to do with just 2.5 remaining, down 2 scores, if they want the 446 family of teams to go 2-1 on this weekend.
Yeah, I saw some other scores there. Northwood picking up a win. They were leading last. Northwood 22, Ringo nothing at the half was the last score we had.
Peabody looking big. They're up 28-0 in the third. They played Menard to a 14-14 tie in that jamboree just a week ago on a Thursday night.
And the Grant Cougars, they're rolling along as well, 47-0 over Montgomery.
And that's a big one over Montgomery. Yeah, back to punt now. They take Caesar out of there.
I bet kind of, and he's going to actually punt it too.
Snap is back there, and they roll in, and they're going to get a running into the kicker. So this big return is going to come back. They're going to get running into the kicker.
Well, that wouldn't be a first down. I don't think they would take the.
No, it'll be.
It wasn't roughing, I don't think.
It's going to be a 5-yard penalty, we believe.
They're going to give Carencro a block below the waist.
Oh, wow. They decline it. So what happened was the result. We saw that he rolled up there. They get the block prior to that.
I think you have to say, though, Doug, just not because it's our home officials, but this has been a well officiated.
Oh, this is a great
game.
crew, and that's why 6 of the 7 have been to the Superdome and called the championship games, and that's as big an honor for a squad as a team making it out there. A 7-man crew, they've been on top of everything. Last week we played with a 5-man crew. You just move some guys around, and so different jobs are required by each of the officials.
Hopefully we can say the same thing when we go down to St. Thomas more next week and play in the Lafayette Association.
Like to see some sort of I don't know, you got to bust a big one here if you give yourself any opportunity. And yes, I am ever the optimist. I certainly am. But this has been a well-played game by that Carencro Golden Bears team. Coach, very impressed with their defense, very impressed by the work of their quarterback, Caesar, who's just a big, strong athlete.
I'd like to see a draw here or a screen to the back or something quick, because they're dropping everybody way out. They're playing man underneath, zone over the top.
You almost think a toss could get it out to this side as well. Joe's got Cunningham in the backfield with him. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top. And now Cunningham switches over to the right side of Joe.
Run the receivers off and then carry the secondary with them, and then just run a sweep out that way. Of course, it's easy for me to say, standing up here in the press box.
Right.
What's the hold up here?
Not sure what they're talking about.
Over there or what?
Oh, they've got an injury over on the far sideline. You can see that at the top of our screen over by the yard marker. Good job of Chuck pointing that out. Got an injury on the far side is what the holdup is. Looks like one of the Golden Bears are down. We'll have to check that out. We go to the 70. Well, no, let's see. They've got. First down and 10 for the Trojans. 2:18 to go in this one. Snap is back. Bordelon's got it. Getting pressure. It's going to step up in the pocket and just get hammered, and that's one of those coverage sacks. But you're not going to be able to get anything deep down the field.
Yeah, I still think they need to give the running back either a quick flare, something quick.
Something quick has to happen. I almost think you try to bust one with Cunningham, but again, I'll say it like you said it. That's the reason I'm up in the press box and not down on the other end where I get to call him. Trying to set up the screen, but he throws it and bounces the one hopper into the linebacker, and that could be one of those grounding. He was not outside of the tackle box, but it looked like Cunningham was there, and they were looking for it. Joe wise to that one. But, I mean, that Carencro Bear defense has just been solid.
Yeah, they have not give up a bunch of big plays, that's for sure. And Trojans tend to live on big plays. We've got about 1 minute and 42 seconds left with a long third down.
35-20 in this one, not 36-20. Our scoreboard has it off just a point, but that brings up 4th down in this one. Look, not only does our sponsor help support Ash Trojan football and high school sports all over, but she also lets us know that our scoreboard is wrong, and then it's 35-20, and there we go. 4th down, final hoorah for the Trojans. They've got to get a miracle here. Back to pass is Joe. And he ducks under a tackle, but no, look, the Bears continue to maul that offense of the Trojans. And, wow.
Yeah, when you know they got to throw the ball, and they were just pinning their ears back. And Joe, you either got to hit them quick because you're not going to have time to throw it long. I see some heads down out there. Coach is going to have to do a good job this next week getting them up because there's no weak sister coming up next week with the St. Thomas More on the schedule. So
there is no letdown whatsoever, and expect Caesar to get back in the victory formation and take a knee as the Trojans just have one timeout remaining, and you don't expect them to take that here. Snap is back, and the knee is there. And that continues to run the clock there. This will get it down into about 45 seconds. Coach, we'll turn and look ahead to next week now. Thursday night, we will be back out at Walk-Ons for the Thomas Bachman Show. Trojans will fall to 0-1. Carencro goes to 1-0. And we'll look a little bit at this game. We'll look ahead to St. Thomas More and what the Trojans our thoughts are with that one. But this has just been a long night. The Trojans got behind the chains there metaphorically on the scoreboard 21-0 early on. Got it close to 21-20, but with just 20 points on the scoreboard have never made up that original deficit that Carencro put them in with just 8 minutes gone in the first half. And this one is going to be in the books. Your final score will be Carencro 35, your Trojans 20. We'll be back right after this for the Ash Trojan Wrap-Up Show. You're watching, you watched Ash Trojan football on 446 Sports.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Back to live action here, wrapping things up from Butch Stoker Stadium. The Trojans just unable to get on track in this one, and Carencro comes out of here with a big victory. They move up to 5A in this one, just a couple of years removed from their state championship win back in 2020. And goodness, Carencro with a big step up in. Rained a lot of the night, but it was just smash mouth football by the Carencro Golden Bears in this one. And Coach, man, just a struggle from the opening possession.
Yeah, like I say, I thought little thing that contributed to it. I think the jamboree, the Trojans might have thought they were a little bit better than what they actually are. You know, Pineville Rebels are down this year, and of course they jumped on them pretty bad. They ran into a real good football team here, and of course the quarterback, I guarantee you, he's the real deal. He's 90% of their offense, and he showed it out there tonight, and we just didn't have an answer for it.
No, not at all. And you just came so many different ways that the Trojans were able to, or that the Carencro Bears were able to come at the Trojans, and it just, like I tell you, from the first quarter on, from the first drive on, it was a struggle. But it's just one game in a long 10-game season. So the Trojans are going to have to go back to work and get things back righted. You know, Coach, it is just one game, and that's part of beefing up the schedule from the get-go. You knew that you were going to have a struggle early on in here, but you got two choices. You can rally and go to work and get after it, and if you don't do that, you're facing a huge uphill battle as man, it gets tougher and tougher with St. Thomas More, the Natchitoches Central, East Ascension, and finally, I won't say a little relief, but you step a little bit down. But man, there's a lot of football between now and then. And oh, by the way, you get into District 2-5A after that.
And there's no weak sister in that, except maybe one or two teams that's not quite up to par with the West Monroes and the Rustons. But you know that they're going to bring the A game, and like I say, they'll jump back. If they don't, it's going to be a long season. They didn't play badly, but the passing game was a little off. Some of it could be attributed to the weather situation, but I think more than anything, the biggest thing is contributed to Carencro being a solid football team.
Yep, indeed. Well, that's going to wrap things up here. Trojans drop the home opener. They lose this one 35-20. Coach, that's 2 games in a row they've lost going back to the first-round playoff game to Parkway. And so, you know, Coach Bachman and that group will get the ship righted, and they'll get back to work in the morning. Congratulations again to head coach Ben McLaughlin, former offensive coordinator for the Trojans, former offensive coordinator for Louisiana College, and gets his first win at Buckeye, 27-12 in that one. So kudos and congratulations to Ben McLaughlin, a great friend of 446 Sports and the program. You see the Trojans down there gathered up, and Coach Bachman will have them up and ready to go. You can believe that. But that's going to wrap things up. Had a big crew up here tonight. Big shout out to that Carencro broadcast team that kept us entertained throughout the night. Our cameraman, we added Brett Stallsby to the mix tonight. Appreciate brother-in-law stepping in and doing that. Best dressed cameraman in all of sports, Roger Walker, was here with us. Of course, our executive.
He's putting us to shame, man.
Indeed, he doesn't take a lot for this crew, I'm gonna tell you, but he's dapper and looking outstanding as always. My man Roger Walker, of course, our executive producer who kept everything running. I've got to get him to work on getting the weather right for us, though, where we can have a rain-free broadcast. The camera, the picture sure looks a lot better when folks aren't covered in mud. So a big shout out, thanks to him. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Coach Lott, congratulations on starting your 95th year of calling high school sports. No, it gets older and older every year, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, we won't go there. I'm just happy to be here. That's all after the 95th year.
there you have it. That's going to wrap things up. A big shout-out to all of our sponsors. Without you guys, we could not do a thing. That will wrap it up from Butch Stoker Stadium. Don't forget, next Thursday night, the Thomas Bachman Show starts at 7 p.m., and then we'll be right here at 6:30 down in Lafayette for that St. Thomas More game. For all of you that watched, a heartfelt thank you. God bless you all, and good night.